What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's RDV, and here I'm back again with Eric Breen and the Geek Easy, and we're doing the best of the week. Hopefully, people will tune in.
That'd be me. We're done.
All right. Just waiting for my phone, but hopefully, people will pop up in the comment section right there. My phone's being a dick. How are you guys?
Alive. It snowed last night, so yeah, it's going to be a little.
Ooh, you got snow already?
It was an attempt. Most of it's gone already.
I don't want any attempt.
Yeah, it's like you sort of want to just walk outside and start going. Yeah, it's not the.
Yeah, that's because you're up in near Canada.
Yeah, we're above Canada. Thank you very much. We're not at the what do you call it? Better off dead levels. Can you imagine the street value of this shit? Yeah. We're not at that level yet, but we'll get there.
Hey man, I hear you. I mean, you guys get a lot of more snow than I do. But
yeah, you should have seen it.
They're talking about it's going to be a warm winter though.
Again. I hope so. At least with us, you should have seen it last winter. It was ugly. Even we were having a hard time driving around. You know, it's funny. I saw these guys in these SUVs ditched on the side of the road. I'm driving this, 5-speed Dodge Stratus stick shift, and I'm just down the road and just sitting there going, that doesn't help you drive, fuckers. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have said the effers, but you know.
Well, we're about a minute in. It's just the first 30 seconds you can't swear. But anyway, Breen, you don't have to go on camera until you're ready. But I'm not one of those guys who complains about people might be on camera on their streams.
Right. We got to save the best. We could only have him here for little bits and pieces because he's just too awesome for the rest of us.
Don't tell him that. He'll want to leave earlier.
I like this. Congratulations to the IRS for winning 44% of the $1.7 billion Powerball. Think of all the agents they can hire to,
and all the ammunition they can buy.
Yeah. Just want to take this time real quickly for those that are tuning in and then tuning right back out. Please like, and subscribe.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Neither was the people clicking on this video. All right, so I got 9 books this week, and a couple back issues, and a couple permanent back issues. All right, so my number 9 for this week is something epic. Beautiful art, with a little slower pace than I liked, but I've been liking this. You know, you're getting these less dialogue, more just art. Sometimes that's better instead of getting Tom King level and less art. You know, I like the opposite better.
Yeah, you like Tom King. Tom King and Tom Taylor. Tom King and Tom Taylor, your two favorite.
You know what? Since DC just announced their Elseworlds, throw those fuckers over on that one and let them stay over in the Elseworlds. That's it.
Hey, Tom Taylor does great on Elseworlds. It's just his main title stuff. Tom King can lick my. Yeah.
I'll just say that. No, actually, I used to think with that with Tom Taylor, but his last one, DC Vampires, not vampires. It was the other one. What was he doing? It was Deceased. I didn't care for the last.
That's out of continuity. He does great. That's Tom Taylor.
Well, that is Elseworlds, yes. And I said
he does great in Elseworld.
That's what Vegman's trying to say. He didn't like the last one either.
The last one, after Dead Planets, coming back and ending it, he should have left it alone. He came back and tried to tap into the well again, and he just shit in it.
Yeah, true.
Tom Taylor brought income inequality into the zombie apocalypse. He can't even help himself there.
But
what? Some zombies get paid more than other zombies?
No, they just. I don't even remember what the context was, but they're complaining. Yeah. Basically, the rich white people were getting better protection or something. I don't know. It's just stupid shit.
Anyway, for Seisman Kudranski, it says like second to last. The last one's gonna be issue 7 next month, and then he's doing some more. Another book. So honestly, this is more art driven than it is storytelling. The storytelling is kind of a little weak, but I do love the chance he's able to showcase his art here. Makes me wonder why he's not on more books. But this is a spoiler. One of the characters gets stabbed by the villain. It's it started out pretty good. Like I said, it's not bad. It's just that you get some like a lot of the art is more of the happy stuff. The guy's getting beat up by the monster. He's like, "Hey, little guy, can you help me?" And he turns to a monster and then eats him. Burp. So you're getting a little bit of humor in this too as well. But overall, it's just a lot of really good art. Widespread. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's the best comic, but I wouldn't say it's epic though. I'd say it's good.
Who wrote this?
This is Seisman Kudransky, the guy who worked on Talk Called Terror.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, that's why the name sounded familiar.
Yeah, so it's not bad, even though it's at the bottom of my pile. But I love the art on here. I mean, and it's a much slower pace. It's kind of like we just reviewed Salem's Lot on over on Extreme Movie Show, and that was a 2-part movie event. But if you watch it 3 hours, it drags.
Which one? Was it the David Soul version or the?
There only is one.
No, there's 2 of them.
No, there only is one. It's a David Soul.
Okay.
You're muted, Breen.
What about Rob Lowe?
No one cares about Rob Lowe.
No one cares about David Soul. Don't give up on me, baby.
Hey, Starsky and Hutch. I was more of a Starsky fan myself, and I want the car.
But I'm not. Anyway,
I just liked him in Fiddler on the Roof.
My point being is that David Soul's movie Salem's Lot was supposed to be in 2 parts, a 2-night event. Awesome book, I own it. Twice actually. I think I have 2 copies actually now. But so anyway, it was supposed to be Salem's Lot was supposed to be a 2-night event. It was originally how it was aired. But if you go on, most DVDs have it all as one thing. So where it's supposed to break away, cut, you're supposed to come back the next night. It just keeps going, and it just feels like it goes on forever. It's a 3-hour movie, and it feels like a 3-hour movie until the very last minute. It's like, whoa, is actually kind of cool. But if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go check on Extreme Movie Show.
Nah.
Do it, Breen.
I think we just found out your thoughts on it.
Come on, you got to do it. Go over there
now.
All right.
Go see the movie.
Don't go see the movie. Go see the review.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, the number 8 this week is Scorch. This is issue number I forget because that's how long it's been going. It's issue 22. So this is what's really cool about this is the cover here is that it actually is about her in there. It's about her. She was killed off. She came back, and now she pretty much rises up and just goes Goku level on the villains. She realizes that her past means nothing. What do they say? Like people think you're smallness, small in a blackness, and you die, or when you're dying, you remember your flashes back before you. Actually, what happens? She says is basically everything's erased, and the only thing that she left clinging to was her daughter. So basically, and all her past sins, and at the end of this, she ends up after she kills the bad guys. She forms her new team, saying, "Spawn, I don't need you at all. Spawn, you're useless." And I gotta say, usually I wouldn't like that, a woman standing up to a main character, and saying he's useless. But this book was never about Spawn. It was about Spawn being a dick to them. And I gotta say, I was actually kind of glad that finally someone stood up to him. But loving the art here. This is Steven Segoya. Like literally.
So she's telling a black guy that he's useless. Okay.
Well, he's technically a dead black guy, but
yeah.
I mean, he's as useless as the Human Torch. He's always been in this book. But overall, I like this, because originally I knew where it was going, but she decided to create her own team called the Heap, different characters, and she's working for the mother Gaia, basically the goddess Gaia, who's basically Earth, Earth goddess, resurrected her, and now she's serving Gaia. And we get to see here, she says, no, Spawn, I know you mean well, but this is the best way to save the soul of your wife.
Now, is this written by What's his name?
Nope.
Okay.
This is Sean Lewis. Now he is credited scripted plot with additional script is Todd McFarlane, but Sean Lewis is the main script plotter. But honestly, for those who love Spawn, you're gonna hate this book. You probably have already quitted. But I gotta say, this is better than actually the Spawn book's been. And for all Spawn's been going, I can never get into it. This has been kind of like an Avengers book with Captain Marvel saying, "Screw you, Tony." Captain America, I'm creating my own team. But it actually works because
now if this is going to be
Spawn was such a bad leader, so he needed to replace. And
if this is going to be, oh, sorry, I don't mean to keep doing that.
Well, why are you doing it then?
Yeah.
Yeah. See. No. So honestly, this is going to be it's still going. This next issue is 23 coming out next month.
Nice.
Later this month. So I'm looking forward to more of this. Irijo's gonna bail out of it. I know Zach was reading this too, and he kind of bailed out because he kind of lost the plot. And it's true, the plot was suffering for a bit, but now they've got pretty much saved the Earth. Defeated the apocalypse. I'm curious to see where it's gonna go with this.
Well, I have an idea. If you said that it's going to be like the Avengers, what she needs to do is have some time traveler come and impregnate her, so she gets.
See, this is why I wasn't going to let you talk, because I knew you were going with this. It's been done to death. And if you want that story, go get the original one. It's miles better, just like Miles and Morale. Anyway, my number 7 for this week, and Breen can appreciate this cover.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yes. Been loving this book, and it's the art is not something. It's not something I usually go for.
So I think the art's gotten better from issue to issue.
Yeah. This is usually what you'd see on a Kickstarter art level. Someone who's just starting in the business, has their own thing.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to agree with me, but that's as good, if not better, than any art Zenoscope is giving you these days.
Yes and no. I mean, this really has a lot of the shading too. I don't because which way she is, but I mean, Deodato hasn't got a hold of it yet, but honestly, I do. It's leaning into it. This is more like a cartoonish thing. And I'm getting more like a Charlie's Angels, especially when they did the flash of the origin of how this team became to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I wouldn't mind a Charlie's Angels in the style of this,
Yeah, well, they did a Charlie's Angels book, but it was woke as fuck. So
of course they did, of course.
Yeah.
But you kind of get this in the flashback. It goes like the 40s and the origins of the bombs. The DC basically they're called the Bombshells. They worked for the secret organization that worked for Winston Churchill, infiltrating, going into Nazi Germany stuff. So it is very, very, very heavily into the origin, which is good. Does little really, but it does very little to advance the plot until the very last page, I'd say. But it's basically you get to learn about Scarlett's mother and her connection and how this, with the company, everything, the spy organization came to be. Project Stardust, which I need to go back and read the first volume of this because I'm getting bits and pieces of Stardust. I don't know what it is, but before they mentioned Stardust, I'm like, okay, what's that? All I know is women are being abducted. Wait, are they real people? But it's supposed to have a modeling agency as a cover, but in truth, they're like a secret spy thing. I mentioned British spy, but like I said, I've seen worse. I've seen this style art done before, except that the faces were turtles. That's when I say it. It's really weird when I see kind of humanoid stuff. Honestly, it's a fun book. If you're looking for spy stuff and you kind of I'd still rather have like Danger Girl if I could, with a little zany stuff. But like I said, for being 2023, I kind of glad that Danger Girl's not around anymore, and because I'm afraid what it would be turned into. This book has been fun. she doesn't have to cut down a man in order to basically prop herself up, make herself important. That's the other thing that's great about
that first series might have been some kind of Kickstarter.
I think it was.
Or okay, now here's one from Titan from 7 years ago, and then there's a 2-issue series from something called Des Pop.
Des Pop sounds like is that the writer's name?
No,
Des Taylor is the writer's name, so it might have been his own imprint he did.
I
don't know.
Time for a little more research.
Number 6 for tonight is the madness. And every time I see this, oh look, it's the Flash. It's not though. Although that is a fate with Simon Spurrier on the title. All right, so this continues on with basically the villain or you say whatever her name is. I think her name's Sarah. I don't know what her main name is. But basically, it starts off with the Batman of this superhero team that's responsible for killing her fiance and his kids. And this guy, we learned from the little on, this guy, his dad experimented him kind of like Dr. Crane did on his son. You saw in the Batman animated series. And his dad injected him with this thing, basically allows him to see, kind of like a minority, where he can see what people may do, but it doesn't mean they're always going to do it, though. There's a high chance that this person's going to commit a crime. And he's always acted on it. He's been trained to act on it and always murders people. So he sees this guy pulling up, and he's this old lady here, and talking about people have road rage. So he assumes the person's going to do this. So he sees it in the head, run over, but then they don't do it though. The person moves out of the way, and he's starting to feel kind of guilt. So you see right here, this is what his dad kind of like experimenting on him, and then kind of injecting him with stuff, and now his brain works, like 2,000 times more or something like that, more than the normal person's.
So this is sort of like an
origin story that you'd have for the superhero.
But also sort of like what was that, Philip K. Dick book with the pre-crime unit.
But he said he has the Bat Cave and everything. He thinks he's safe in there until, comes the villain. And she is like, the fuck you are safe in there. And she basically, she has this kind of like freakazoid where she basically can change the way she looks, and as far as that, so basically it's kind of like almost like an Animaniac style. Here you got her. She's torturing him, and she's dressed up as a nun, asking him to confess his sins. It's really kind of like it is madness in a sense. And then she's dressed up as a psychiatrist, And then she talks about, he's like, has you ever seen somebody scale a fish? What they do is they get the big knife, and they run it against the grain of the scales. It's really pretty cool how they can completely slice away the whole top layer with hardly any effect or any effort. Chef Spelgy. And then he has to debone. Do you understand why I'm telling this? Do you understand it's your last chance, your very last chance to get out fast and clean? Yes. With your last breath, you tell me what I want to know, and you will understand what happens to people who take away the only beautiful things I ever truly loved, the only things that stood between you and the world and me, and this. Yeah. And she says, the funny part is that your friends are watching this live. I can feel the monitor on my back, and your friends don't give a shit about you. So, of course, the two other teammates are watching this. The one guy is like, "Well, shit, she knows I dropped the bomb. She knows everything about it." So, he's like, "Dude, are you seriously worried about it? You took a rocket to the chest before. It didn't stop you." And then you see her here. She's also kind of like, this is before she started going in revenge. She was trying at the crater where the bomb was dropped. She was trying to basically scoop up the ashes of the two kids and the guy. And she doesn't. She's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, which grain belongs to who." And then she sad moment. She takes them to like the before she first met them when they're fishing. So after that, she's like, this basically gives over. Like, let's just get this shit done. And then you get a special preview of what's going on the next issue. So. Yeah. So honestly, I've actually been liking this. For Straczynski. It's now it's a little darker. Like I said, I want to see where this pays off. In the end, because it's kind of like in the sense of a big game. Everyone's being bumped off. I want to know what's going to happen at the end. Is she going to get? Either she's going to get a bullet in the head and finally die, or they're going to let her live. And I honestly, I don't see her walking away at the end of this, because even though it's revenge, she still brought this on by killing the last guy to make enough money so that she can pay for the engagement and the wedding and stuff. What's going on, John? So I didn't get many books this week, but X-Men Red was amazing. I'll take your word for it, man. I haven't really cared for the X-Men after HoxPox. It's just not my version of X-Men. I love the Jim Lee, Claremont, and everything before that. So it's changed, but it's cool. It's cool that you're actually able to find something that you enjoy these days. It's getting harder and harder for me. Crinkle, crinkle.
If I'm making too much noise, let me know. I'll mute myself.
Honestly, I thought when I first looked up, is he eating candy?
It adds a certain ambiance to things, man.
Hey, I have done a live stream on this channel where all I did was beg and board, and I did that like at 2:00 in the morning, and I had like 2 people watching me while I was begging board and just talking for about 30 minutes, and that had to be the most. Ooh, that is a nice book. That's the variant, right?
Well, there was just 2 versions. One where he's Spider-Man, the other one where he's Peter Parker.
Supposedly that was the first. Supposedly that was the first variant cover. I've heard that.
First variant cover was Man of Steel.
That's what I've heard.
That was about 6 months earlier than this.
Okay. I heard there was an interesting story behind that they accidentally made a mistake, then they just put them both out at the same time.
Who knows? I mean, it's a smart move to put them both at the same time, because the Spider-Man fans loving this is gonna buy both covers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the same cover. It's just one. The people, it was his Peter Parker's friends in the background, and then there's the Spider-Man one with his villains and heroes. So that's there's no mistake there. That was by design.
But I like the fact there was only 2 covers instead of 40,
and that was a big deal that there was 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if Spider-Man was being written as quality as he was back then, I still wouldn't be picking up 40 different variant covers. I'd be getting the main cover and maybe one other one that I like. That's why I treat it with some of these other books I buy. If I really like the variant cover, like the Sean Gordon Murphy, his Batman ones he's been doing, I will sometimes I get all 3 covers because I just love it and I want to support him. But I'm not, if there's like 40 covers, sorry, Sean Gordon Murphy, I'm not going to buy all 40 covers.
There's people that will try.
There's people that have to have every single cover. I see it all the time, and that's what's keeping some of these shops in business. Because there's always
it's not the shops that have the problem with it. It's the companies that,
of course. But I mean, a lot of shops will sell back issues. And then their profit comes from the maybe whatever they get from like the Wednesday sale,
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you how that goes. When you buy a bunch of books to get like a 1 in 1,000 variant,
yeah,
because someone wants to buy the 1 in 1,000 variant, and then that someone stiffs you on the 1 in 1,000 variant, you're effed. And unfortunately, that is not uncommon.
And that's why I tell any shops are doing this, you make them pay for it first.
Up front, absolutely.
Up front, always. Whenever I have my shop pre-order me something, I tell me hey, I'll pay first now. He's like, oh, I really don't want to do that in case it doesn't come in. I said, if that's the case, I have instant credit. Just look at it that way, and you can keep it at my tab. It says this person, and then when I come in and buy something, I'll immediately just apply it to my next purchase. I've done that before. I come in with a box, I'll get $40. Like I sold my Daredevils. I got $40 worth for some of those, and basically I just took that and applied it to what I was buying that day, and I walked out basically even.
I heard there was a guy who ordered when that New Warriors #1 was supposed to be coming out with the the ultra super beyond woke.
Snowflake is safe space.
Yeah, there's a guy who's some guy ordered like 500 issues, and then they didn't put them out.
No, my shop says he's the most that sells at his shop is Batman because they're just diehard Batman fans. X-Men sells, but he says it's not selling like it used to sell. It still sells. It's like I said, I don't hate the books. I just don't find any reason to read them because I just don't enjoy them.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly they want to put the whatever they want to put in these new books, change and stuff. That's good, but the problem is you alienate everyone who liked the previous versions, and that's the thing you're going to go with going forward with these writers when they don't respect the original stuff. The fact that one of my books coming up talks about a retcon that happened, and they make fun of it in the book.
Excuse me.
All right, so my number, I think this is number 5 for this week is Teen Titans, World's Finest Teen Titans. Emmanuel Lupacino, I love her art on here. Basically, this is a story of this. Roy's coming over to stay over by the Wallies with his parents. I forgot that his parents were alive. I always thought that his parents, like he was, because it was only with the Arius.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot that he actually lived with his parents, back in the Silver Age.
Remember, his mom was still alive in the post-crisis series.
Yeah, I know.
She'd become an old bitch,
but you get to see his mom and his dad in this.
Boy, she aged terribly.
Yeah.
Remember how old and decrepit she looked in the Flash series?
Yeah, and the Mike Baron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Garth is over, and so is Roy. They're gonna have a sleepover. It's all basically to help cheer Garth up because Garth was having issues, and now this was kind of like couldn't tell if this was supposed to be coded, but some people were saying it's like, well, when he's talking about what was he saying? Him and Don are having troubles, relationship troubles. And I forgot so Wally asked him, like, what's going on between you two anyway? He's like, I wish I knew. She knows what she wants. I just don't. My people define relationships differently than landwalkers do. How we interact with each other, life forms, with each other, that's what Donna doesn't seem to see. And her appetite is huge for everything. Music, food, art, fashion. It just gets louder and faster and wilder until my head explodes. Some people are saying is he going to come out to be, he's gender fluid, And I was just like, no, this is Uncle Adio. He's not Gale. But I don't think Mark Waid would even do that. That's a Tom King, a Tom Taylor thing. I don't see them doing that, but I do like the fact that even Garth mentioned something about, because you see him kind of sitting around, and I love how Wally just sticks up for everybody. Wally gets annoyed by Speedy being a dick, what did he say? He said, here, finally Speedy says something that's actually relevant, so it's actually kind of nice, which really shocks Wally for a thing. And he's like, dude, if you keep feeling sorry for yourself, that's a stick that carries. Never apologize for who you are and what you want in a relationship, Squidling. Listen up. We teach people how to treat us. Donna's a big personality. If you act insecure, well, she won't mean to, but she will just ride right over you. Stop pretending to be somebody you're not, because that is hard work. Just be an awesome you. He's like, then if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I love this Wally's reaction. He's like, what the hell? So apart from that, we get to see the form of a Guardian, actually a new Guardian. I forgot what the girl name is. Bee or something. She gives Bumblebee. Bumblebee gives this guy we met last issue, gives him the shield. They're out on a date. She has a crush on, or either he has I think he has a crush on her. That's what it was. Yeah.
Listen, he's from the original series. That's Mal.
Yeah, Mal.
He had like a magic flute or something. I can't remember what it was, or no, whatever it was he used in fights. But knock it off. If he ever lost a fight, he would die. That was kind of the arrangement.
So she kind of gives him stuff. She's like, "You ever think about being a Titan?" He's like, I don't want to be a Titan. I'm sorry. That's your life. I am a civilian. I don't want to do that stuff." Of course, she says, I need your help. And then basically he ends up, because she said, and the shield here, I modified it. It's the original shield. And I want you to basically push this button, and he ends up having to do it, and he transforms into Guardian. So this is a little bit of retconning, I guess.
Yeah. He was. I think I don't even know if he had a superhero name or if he called himself the Guardian, but he wasn't the Guardian. I honestly can't remember. It's been a while.
Like I said, but he's that, and then we get to see who the villain is. Who's been focuses in.
Yeah, I'm not that. I guess I'm out of the DC lore. Is that Ocean Master or something?
I want to say so.
Well, it's not Mr. Jupiter, so good for that.
So that's what I was kind of happy because it doesn't look like Mr. Jupiter. Yeah.
Now I do have a question though.
Yeah.
If you look at that picture next to it, it's the advertisement for the Jay Garrick Flash.
Yeah. Yeah.
They in one of the books I have, they had the first page. Yeah, like that. It's him and his daughter.
Yep.
I thought that they made Jay Garrick.
No, that's Alan Scott. Alan Scott is the one that's gay. Jay was never made gay. Wasn't that Tom King too?
No, that was James Tynan.
James Tynan.
They made Alan Scott of Earth 26.7-2 in the New 52 gay. Tynan decided he was gay everywhere because, like I said, Tynan can't write he couldn't write his name down without making someone gay.
But I'm gonna say this for Jeremy Adams. This is a preview. It's going to be a fun book. Basically, in here, a little preview here. You see them running up. There's bombs all over the Hoover Dam or something. They're at or some dam, and they're running. Basically, stop the bombs. And it's just fun. Father, and he's showing her how to be a hero. Running around, and at the end, he's here. So I'm excited for this. And honestly, with the departure of Jeff Johns after his decent commitments are done, he's going to Ghost Machine, which he kind of already was part of. He was doing the Junkyard Joe. You guys remember those and the Geigerverse. I hope
really?
I hope that either they shove the JSA stuff or the only person who's allowed to write it is Robert Venditti and Jeremy Adams. Let those two have at it.
I disagree. I think they should turn the JSA over to Tim Sheridan so he can finish the job he starts in Alan Scott. Just crush their legacy forever.
Hey, Trusty. Like I said though, it's the only person I would trust it, and I would get rid of Tim Sheridan. I wouldn't let him.
I promise you, Tim Sheridan is more important to DC than Jeremy Adams and Robert Venditti combined. In fact, I found out the other day that Tim Sheridan and Jeremy Adams are like best buds, believe it or not. And I'm guessing maybe that's why DC hasn't fired Jeremy Adams.
Don't know.
Tim Sheridan checks all the right boxes for what DC has become.
And Jeremy Adams doesn't, though. He's completely
right.
Opposite.
But Tim Sheridan probably says, keep my buddy around. Just give him a couple books and then, kick him around. And
or maybe they think by bringing in Jeremy Adams to write stuff, they'll get people to try other books too.
But I think Jeremy Adams is a problem for him because he writes stuff that the wrong people like.
Yeah, I know. But speaking of Jeremy Adams, he's my number 4 for this week.
I'm real interested to hear what you think. 3 books were better than that this week.
The 3 books you probably didn't get.
Oh no, I'm not being an ass. I'm just saying I'd be real curious because I thought that was phenomenal.
This is this was a fun book having them actually be together and actually writing stuff, working together. Very fun book. I honestly gave it a 5 stars. You get a team up with basically one of the best team ups other than Green Lantern and Green Arrow. I was talking to for those who were here on this past Tuesday. I was talking to Zach about this. So why don't they have Oliver team up with them? Have them do like a triple tag team, I think that'd be fun with their personalities because basically Oliver is the Batman in the group and they get the 2 wild cards. Barry's kind of serious, but Hal being the showboat. then he's just a bad influence for each other. Like I said, I like having Green Arrow and Green Lantern kind of interact, just like I love having Green Lantern and Flash, interact as well.
I really liked that conversation they had up on the roof.
Oh yeah, yes. So anyway, basically they stopped some bad guys. Sinestro basically had planted some sonic bombs around the place after talking to Sinestro in the bar. So he's like, in his session, I was like, you'll never be able to basically stop all these bombs. He's like, really? Okay, I got someone to call in. He calls in Barry Allen. Barry Allen gets all the stuff. But the cool thing before that is that we get to learn even more about Hal's mysterious lantern ring. Only he can wield it.
Yeah. Well, he created it right out of it. I mean, he brought it into existence with his willpower.
Yeah. So
when this issue did what I wondered why it doesn't get. I mean, I know why. It's a rhetorical question. Yeah. Why doesn't this happen far more often in comics? When, like, if someone throws Batman out of an airplane, hey, Soups, if you're not busy, hey, it's like this is great. I love this. Did you watch the video I made with Wes yet?
No.
When I was extolling the virtues of Jeremy Adams, I said, if I could give you any advice, get the hell out of this company while you still have a reputation. I love this guy. Yeah. He gets it more than anybody working at DC.
So after that, after we learn more about Hal's his ring, and then Sinestro's pissed off, they go and the bombs. They take care of it. They go back to Ferris Air. Forensic scientists or forensic analysts, I'd say. Basically, Barry Allen, they say, notices, hey, there's something wrong with this plane. Somebody did something to this. There's a hull must be ferromagnetic, so whatever he put on here left these tiny marks. He did say he was looking for a way off planet, says has Hal. And then I love how basically gets chewed up by Carol, and basically there's mention he's like that they maybe because basically Barry doesn't know this. Barry thinks they're already back together at this point. Barry says like, why don't me and Iris get together with you and Hal and Hal, Carol? And she's like, well, I'm engaged. Like, oh, someone else barely, and
that's a great idea. I'm with somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but then we get more stuff. Some meteors falling to Earth, which is really cool. I love the art in this too. Look at that. That is just cool. This book is better than anything DC's really putting out. As much as I love World's Finest, I've been liking this book more and more. It's been growing on me. More so when Carol's off page, because I'm just bored with Carol after a while. But and we get the heart to heart, and just saying, and I love this how Barry's like basically is like, dude, hey, what's going on with you and Carol? Why is Carol engaged with someone that's not you? And he's like, can you blame her? I've been out in space fighting evil. She has the right to move on with her life. But he's like, dude, you love her. Always have. She hasn't said I do to this other guy yet, right? So use that willpower of yours to get her back. Well, I've been trying to, and all that comes out is petty. Dude, but all fair and love is fair in love and war. All that. But do you mean fair? Like Carol? I'm back for now, but I don't know how long. At some point, Sinestro will make his move, and some crisis will pull me away. If I love her, really love her, don't I want her to be happy, to live her life away from this madness, not to be worrying about something every time I leave, wondering if I'll return? And I love Barry says, like, dude, Al, one thing I've learned from this, or at least really from Iris, she worries about me no matter what. The question isn't about the what ifs of the future. The question is, who do you do the what to face, or who you want to face the what ifs with. So maybe I'll pull back on the throttle and trying to chase her and just try to be the friend she fell in love with. He's like, maybe you're right. Of course I'm right. I'm the scientist. I'm also late for dinner with Iris. And he's like, okay, Mr. Scientist, let me ask you one question about, question. You've raised Superman, other Flashes, but can you beat a man with a ring that can move him light years at the time? Well, one way to find out. But I love that. They kind of get and here's the last page. And then we go into this is Peter G. Tomasi. doing a little story here in the backup, which was I still have doing know what's this tying into. If this is going to tie into Super Sons from the alternate universe that that Jerry Adams did in his other Flash book, but
Now, yeah, I do have to bring something up. If right after Hal calls in Barry to to find all the bombs and dispatch them,
yeah,
and then he asks him if he's faster than his ring. Well, if you're that fast, Hal, why didn't you do that and not call? Not why'd you have to call Barry?
yeah. I also love this. Whenever I'm just falling in love with this. This is what C.W. Barry should have been doing. Just beating the shit out of people before they can even move. But alas, CW doesn't know Barry. All right, you asked what other three books are better than that. I've been loving that series, but there's other stuff that I've been liking more, obviously. And it varies from week to week. Now, and prepare your apples, probably, Breen. Or pineapples, whatever you want to throw at me. My number 3.
I don't have anything against the Turtles. I was just too old for them.
Yeah. And that's the big difference is I grew up with these. Yeah. They make fun of the IDW retcons, which is I thought was kind of funny about this because it's IDW book. But it's basically the Turtles get sucked into, well, a dream world after this because they first are watching a horror movie with kids and they're like, this guy's got to hook the chainsaw. Even Donatello's like, well, I don't get this. The dude has hooks. How could he even operate the chainsaw? Hello, Ash. Yeah. And then they come across, well, this actually a character was before. Keep in mind, this is the IDW Ghostbuster writers, a creative team. They come across Creepy Eddie, who is none other than, well, Freddy. This is their version of him. Sucks the portals into Nightmare Land, and they have to face down each of their portals. And I love how, like, he says, like, you have to, before midnight, you have to get through here. And they have to basically, it's like, I love how they explain here. It's like, here's a yellow brick road, and it says, like, it's in public domain. So they're kind of like, there's kind of like some fourth wall breaking in this. They go against a pizza monster, which is always Turtles saying they love pizza. So whenever pizza attacks them, but this is this page right here I was talking about. He's like, dude, isn't that the Shiba Shano, the founder of the Foot Clan? And Donatello is like, I thought Mato Koji founded the clan. And he says, like, he's right, Leonardo. There was a retcon and everything. So honestly, they are making fun of the stupid retcons. And I don't know who retconned it. But honestly, I just love this. The bright colors. I love the fact it's a Ninja Turtles. If you love the animated series, dude, this is pretty much right up your alley. And also, it kind of feel it's supposed to be a Halloween spooky thing. So I kind of get the real ghost or the IDW Ghostbusters feeling that these two would write normally, but they're doing it with Turtles. And I even make the joke. They're like, like this is the last time I've seen a human Baxter. If you know who Baxter is, Baxter Stockman turned himself into a giant fly, like Jeff Goldblum. And then he's in these creature monsters. So it's for an $8 book. I'm actually really enjoying it from page to page, or cover to cover. And then at the end, that's the end of this little thing. This is definitely a kid's book, which is really great, and it really see because there really isn't many kids books out there for kids, especially with today's Marvel and DC. Just sad. And then at the end, you basically you get continuation of what's going on in the series. So it's not just like a break away from the actual Saturday morning cartoons. It actually ties into the events. So what happened? So it's continuing the story. We got what's it? Shredder summons one of the guy who created this this digital sword, and Krang's like, dude, every time you summon a freaking demon or spirit, they would screw you over. Why do you do this? So like I said, I love the art, I love the storytelling. This is Eric Burnham and Dan Schoening doing this. So you get 2 stories, and yeah. This is the $8 book.
Yeah. Wait a minute, you said it's for kids.
Yeah.
$8.
Yeah. Well, dude, you think a kid's gonna have $4, $5 for a comic book normal these days?
Hell no.
This is something that your parent would pick it up the shelf because it actually looks at the cartoons they watched. Yeah. Ash, we're just big kids now. But I mean, if you are listening fathers out there who are actually looking for stuff to get their kids to read, this might pique their interest if they're a fan of the original cartoon stuff.
So that's one thing I've noticed. Like, you're a big fan of Turtles, so is Joe. He's a big Power Rangers guy. I'm never watched any of this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Power Rangers comic books and more than Ninja Turtle stuff. That was more my thing when I was like 4 or 5. I was watching that. It came out in the 80s, in the early 90s. Power Rangers came on when I was in my teens or close to teens, and I watched one season, and I was like, and then they immediately switched people out. They kept switching people, and I realized this is pointless. All right, my number 2 for this week is Blade. And I did get the 1 in 25.
Wait a minute, that came out?
Yeah.
Fro.
Yeah. I feel like you don't go to your shop.
I do, but you realize that last week I picked up that Green Arrow thinking it was Green Lantern.
Well, when I picked up the Green Lantern, I called it Green Arrow this week to myself. I was like, wait, it is Green Lantern because
I'm old. I don't pay attention to. I don't see stuff half the time.
Honestly, we get this basically like this. Well, it's the heist mode. They need to steal Lucifer's sword, which this guy has on his train, but he never slows down lower than 180 miles per hour. And he's got headshot on there. And Strange pretty much says like, I can't really help you, but I can't get involved, but I'm not supposed to meddling. But since you messed this up, you have to clean this up your mess. Basically, I'll get you onto the train. He says like, you gotta be warned though. The train is full of freaking vampires. And here we go, Blade 2. Remember this guy?
Oh yes. Oh there you go.
So like I said, I just love this. Of course, till we get look, a knockoff Gang War. No one gives a shit about. I'll read the original Gang War. We could actually just watch it on this channel. We read like the first 3 parts of it. But yeah. Blade going to the portal. Yeah, the guy sees him, and he just immediately cuts him in half, kills him. More fodder, or cannon fodder, to say. Blade cutting through them. It's like I said, this has just been a fun series. Of course, when they die, they burn with every sword because of them. Everyone's got their part in there to distract them. Well, and the 2 other, Blade's going after the main thing, the sword. The big old bad guy comes in, but then the last minute, the guy is taunting him, telling Blade, he's like, "Hey, dude, like you realize, like she can hear you." He's like, she's watching you. Don't you want to serve her? The point where the demon Adana, this spirit basically takes over him, makes him kill himself, suicide. Blade's got the sword, and then Strange's like, "Dude, you cannot wield the sword because basically it corrupts people. Give it to me." And Blade does not want to give it to him. And at the last second, basically it's transported through another portal. And we get to see Blade going against, well, it looks like you see some skinless person.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah. And so that's, yeah.
So, Ash, I do have a pull list. I just don't have it on there. But
so
on Wednesdays...
I was going to say real quickly, that's supposed to be a Don at the end. I just realized that. I think there's only one more issue, which sucks. This should be an ongoing. This has been better than most of the Marvel stuff, even the Jen McKay stuff, which I do somewhat like.
There's no such thing as ongoing at Marvel.
No. Wait, there is ongoing stuff you don't want to read.
Nope. And even those are only around for a couple of years.
Well, no, they go for 10 issues, and then they get canceled for low sales. Then they relaunch on the same writer with the same plot with a different title.
Kamala Khan, Captain Marvel,
Scarlet Witch. All right. My number 1 book for the week. And at first I was kind of skeptical about this, but then I just was excited. I picked it up, man. I just read it. Army of Darkness Forever. Now, if you've seen the movie Army of Darkness, you know there's an alternate ending where Ash takes the 6 drops and he ends up in the future. This is a continuation from that movie. Going right, where he takes the drops and he ends up waking up in the future. Now, this is heavy spoilers. Ash, if you haven't read it yourself, I guarantee you need to stop right now and wait watching this and go read it. This is just a fun book. Meanwhile, Sheila, the girl who originally was in the original movie, who was possessed and then at the end, she still has connection to the Necronomicon. And she warns them that the evil is just because Ash is gone now. I'm talking about the Ash in here, not the one that's in the chat, but very confusing. She says you need basically to do something because they're still there, and it turns out they're resurrecting the bad Ash that was in there, the one that was basically exploded. And they do give you a real big recap of everything that happened in the end of the movie, the finale. So it's very spoiler heavy if you haven't watched the movie. He returns to his time, runs into he's on the girl. She becomes possessed. You get the classic lines, everything. Kiss the girl, goes out there. But there is one. There is one. Actually, spin-off on this, and they show you that the Ash that it was in 1993 is actually the fake Ash. It's not the real Ash. It's the bad Ash. He's now possessing an Ash's body, and he went to 1993. So while the real Ash is stuck in 2039 or something like that.
No, the real Ash is in the chat.
And that's fake Ash. This is. But honestly, no, I gotta say this: the story is really good. This is Justin Greenwood art. Not a fan of it. Not for this character. Come on, guys.
Is that supposed to be Ash by your finger?
Yeah, but it's actually bad Ash. You find out, yeah. But it's supposed to be Ash, Bruce Campbell.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the art I'm getting. It is Justin Greenwood's art is atrocious in this book. The only thing it's going to be going for it's just Tony Fleek's writing it, and it's continuation of the actual movie, 2093. Where the real Ash ends up and how what this means. Honestly, I would have rather had Tony Fleeks doing the art as well. It would have taken a little longer, but overall. So basically, it's a recap of the ending of the first of the Army of Darkness. So for most of the pages, too, that's also kind of downer, but it also gives a chance for new readers who or people who've actually read the actual or watched the movie but haven't forgot what happened. It gives you a little brief, summary for the first issue and how the past and every present is all going to mingle into the future where he's stuck at. That is my number one book of the week. I just love that movie. I love it. I just wish the art was a little better than this.
So the art is not groovy.
It's not. Hey, can you stop doing your homework in the middle of the stream?
Oh, is it that loud?
Yeah, it is freaking.
My bad. Sorry, y'all. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a bunch of noise going on when you were online. None of us have ever done that before.
So,
yeah, I know. This is totally not the stream that happens on.
So, real quickly, some reprints I got, and also, well, it's not really a reprint. You can say it's a reprint. It's deluxe. Issue 73, fun series. Well, in Alexandria, Abraham was put on basically building detail, helping to basically secure new buildings as expand Alexandria, clear out the existing lots so they can keep the zombies out. And up to this point, Abraham was being bullied by other people there. They can what are you talking about? It's fine. Zombies are gone. We haven't seen them for days. While they're out there doing all this stuff, Abraham says, no, you're getting us killed. Of course, Abraham basically does saves the day in this and shows everybody and just shows you how awesome Abraham is.
Abraham is kind of a badass.
And
you have 7 sons?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the reason I say is I think it's only 5 issues because it says Epic Showdown in the next issue between Blade and
This could be the end of that arc.
could be.
Epic doesn't mean ending. Final showdown could mean ending.
Hold on a second, because I think it did say actually.
Excuse me.
Here, let me see. Real quickly. Finally, all roads lead to this epic showdown with the Adena, but will Adena's home turf be her ancient, unstoppable power? Will Blade be able to triumph over the motherly of evil? Sounds like a final issue, the next issue. All right, so that's cool. This is the original cover. This is the new one. I said this is the interior art when it's actually colored. Looks a lot better.
Yeah, it looks nice.
All right, the other one is the final issue of the War of the Gods reprint. So, and I'm not sure if this. No, this is not include the ads in here. What it does include ads for new books. So,
Justice League Godzilla.
Right. All right. Well, does it have listed at 7? Then hey, cool, awesome. All right. So then I got some other cool stuff. The new thing I got was if you didn't pick this up, this is kind of cool trade. What Marvel does includes pretty much the second arc, second meeting of these characters: Moon Knight 29 and 30, Hawkeye, Soul Avengers, number 3, and then Mark Spector, Moon Knight 50. I think it's 50, 52 and 53. So all these books together in one trade. Focus. So I already have the facsimiles, the other thing, but I said, and it is the original kind of that you'd see in the epics, kind of glossy kind of thing art. But I already have the epics of collection of some of these, so I thought it was really cool to have. I've never read all the way through these. I've only seen them facing off because they're in World by Night 32 and 33. So seeing them actually team up against a cult was actually kind of cool. Basically, the Ku Klux Klan, but they're all wearing black instead, which is really weird.
So this is the Mirror Universe Clan.
About to say, it sounds like that.
Zack's nightmare. What? So when you get that stain on your bed sheet and you can't get it out? Yeah.
That's probably a good thing Zach wasn't watching the Fossil show last night.
All right. So here's the cool stuff I got because everybody knows my shop has been a lot of the back issues are half off. I showed Marani these last night.
Oh,
Decided to add it to my collection. I don't have the adaptation. So
I've still never seen that movie.
yeah, some would say it's a good thing, some say it's a bad thing. I say it's at least one watch and done.
Yeah, it's something you got to watch just because.
All right.
Nice.
9 Lives of Catwoman starring Batman and Robin. And then the richest girl in the world. Rose meets the Thorn. Or Rose and Thorn meets the richest girl. They did have the one before this, but the corner was on this part was all chewed up. So I might go back it's like $5. But does it have them side by side?
The way they have her, it sort of looks like the night before with Superman.
Yeah. All right. Then I just couldn't help myself because I always love these.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Very cool JSA.
It's the Moon Man.
The Moon Man.
All right, that was issue 4, and then I decided to get issue 11. The Hot Pants Supergirl.
Yep, that's it. It's a tentacle porn Supergirl.
Evil Dead branches.
Just a little, yeah. Evil Dead, bringing it back to Ash.
And then I was teasing Breen about this. I said this is a really swinging book. Breen.
Tarzan.
Oh. Yeah, I'm so proud of you, Venkman. If I could only, if only some of this would rub off on the guy on the bottom.
That's what she said.
Looking at
I
you,
bet you he likes
Zach.
having his bottom rubbed off.
I love it. It's like
That doesn't make any sense.
No,
What a kick.
it didn't, but that's okay.
what
He
a
doesn't
revolt-
try.
No one's listening.
We're revolted catastrophe. Head for the hills, mates, before we get catnipped.
What issue is that?
This is number 8.
Nice.
I got it because with the black cats and the deads, it kind of seems like a Halloween. I know it's not, but with the Halloween theme, it's kind of cool. And then because Trusty we read this now. The next 2 books, at least one of them, we read on the channel, and I really love when Trusty read this character. So now every time I see this character, I hear it in Trusty's voice.
Speaking of things that make no sense, that doesn't make any sense, Ash. Teen humor books from the 60s. How would I be too old for those? Again, nice.
Alcaladio and Peril. Mad Mod. I love this. I just love the Mad Mod. And I said every time I go to read something with this in this character, I was reading some pages, I just hear Trusty's voice.
Well, didn't Joe read the Mad Mod one time too?
He read DJ, I think.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, that's right.
And then because, well, I decided to skip to number 34 because it is Halloween. It's up soon.
Nice.
That looks like a Halloween type of cover.
Yeah, you've definitely got enough to do a round on the fossils now.
I got 2 more years, then I can join the fossils, okay?
Hmm.
Then it'll be 40.
12. Technically, it's 50.
But I want to be like the foreign correspondent, but like kind of like not foreign correspondent, but I want to be like
the 40 correspondent.
I want to be the caretaker. When I reach 40, I could be the caretaker.
You could be the nurse.
There you go.
Well, my last name's
or Merce, that should say.
True. That's right.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll
right.
go ahead and blast through this.
There you go, Alcaladio.
All right, so got 7 books this week, so I would say, that would make the first 2 honorable mentions, but no, this does not get one.
Oh.
Ash, was giving me shit after the first issue, saying I was extolling the virtues of this, and I kind of liked it for 4 issues. I didn't realize it was just a setup for a lecture on climate change. Because the big bad at the end that they were sacrificing the kid for, the kid is obviously our lifestyle, and the big bad is the climate, because it was this weather related thing, God that was going to destroy the earth if they didn't sacrifice the kid. Well, the main character saves the kid from the people trying to sacrifice him, but at the end, the world blows up. Yeah, we get it, Ed. Cars
Listen.
bad, blah blah blah. Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, he ain't that great.
Yeah, so that's and I guess we have to save the planet. Well, I'm going to start by saving the paper of not buying anything this fool ever does again. That'll be my contribution.
I saw this this channel on Instagram called Tech Mech, and these people holding like a clear translucent like a plastic balloon over this campfire, and it's just filling a black smoke. And with this we can stop emissions. I'm thinking like, but where is all that smoke gonna go to? You're just gonna bottle up? It has to go somewhere.
Yeah, there was a mini series that Jason Starr did about 3 years ago. 4 issues. The first 3 were fantastic, and then the 4th one was just, that's what this was all building to. But that was just a bad comic book related decision. This, right. Like I said, I hate 4-color activism. So
I just hate color activism.
And I do realize that I'm anybody that's seen me on YouTube this week knows I'm a little cranky this week. So
that's okay.
Number 6.
You too.
I said, if you see the thing I did with Wes, I actually dropped a couple F-bombs at some specific people.
Oh, I need to go watch that then.
Yeah, I believe the quote was, fuck you, Tim Sheridan.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Count Dante. I've 3 issues in. I've come to the conclusion that I like the idea of this being a comic book more than I'm actually liking the comic book. I don't know how many issues it has left. Hopefully not many.
Scout Comics.
And I almost missed this one. Yeah, there's always a chance Scout goes out of business before they can finish this anyway.
Yeah, I was wondering that when I was.
Got to. But yeah, like I said this issue left off with them getting to the tournament that he's fighting in. But like I said, it's fun, but it's I can't recommend. I mean, if you're old enough to have seen the ads in the comics in the mid 70s, it's kind of fun to read this, but beyond that, I don't think you're going to get anything out of it. It's not good enough to stand on its own. Number 5, Teen Titans. Not a bad book, but not a good book either. And it's not that it's not that the comic itself was bad, but there were spots. Let's start with Aqualad. Yeah, I don't like it when I'm going to use. I'm trying to not use the fish out of water pun, but
it was really happening in the book.
When he falls down the stairs and go, "Oh, we don't have those where I am from." Yeah, you've been on Earth long enough to know what a fucking flight of stairs are. And while I'm trying to get over one of my characters, so let's make him a complete asshole, and by default, make Oliver Queen an even bigger asshole. Because remember, when this is set, Oliver Queen was a conservative. So yeah, by all means, let's make him a buttwad.
He abandoned you, Roy.
Yeah. So, and maybe that's why he turned to drugs. Nah, maybe this is just poorly written. Mark Waid's not a better person, but he is a better writer.
Yes.
Be better, Mark.
That's why it wasn't so high on my list. But I did I love Wally. Wally is
5 on both of our lists, right?
Yeah.
I actually didn't pick. I actually dropped the World's Finest Teen Titans from my pull list.
That's okay, but you still have this score though.
You made the right call.
Yes.
I never had it on there.
Now,
guys, mark it. That's the one time he's going to say that tonight. Watch.
Don't worry. Come back in a couple weeks when Zach goes, gosh golly, Ryan North, forget about Stan and Jack. Look at this.
It's funny. The one book he should be dropping is the one he doesn't drop.
I didn't say that for Ryan North, but I did say that for Hickman.
Zach, like Rome, wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome to Riverdale, the latest chilling adventures. Nothing spectacular. It's just, Ginger Snaps comes to town, and the whole town just seems to be just too Riverdale. And they find out that somebody's made a deal with somebody to blah blah blah, and they're all basically, it's like a Stepford town, and they end up escaping at the end. I won't spoil anything more. I've read some that are good. I've read some that are decent. I've read some that are just not good at all. This was worth the read. I don't know if I can go give it that much more.
Is that Cheryl on the cover?
No, it's Ginger Snaps.
Oh,
whatever that is.
She's a werewolf?
No, she wasn't in this.
Oh.
Number 3, Batman and Robin. I'm not looking for any world-changing event in this comic. I'm just kind of enjoying the father-son dynamic. It's actually kind of fun.
Nice.
He goes, Damian goes, Bruce convinces him to go to school. And of course, a couple kids, pick on him. And he does what Damian would do. He basically kicks crap out of all of them.
Wasn't like I think he fantasized about it, didn't he?
No, he actually did it.
No, I think he did kick crap out of one of them and said, no, don't touch my diary. But again, like I said, this is just, I haven't regretted picking. I went back and got the first issue, and I didn't regret that. And I'm actually, I like this enough to continue for now.
Nice.
That was the book that I dropped from DC going forward. I just wasn't,
Well, I said it's I mean, again, it's not great, but it's
better than Tom King or Tom or Taylor.
Oh
or
yeah, well, I said, I mean,
Zdarsky.
I decided I'm not even going to finish Danger Street. I'm just going to throw the 9 that I bought into a discount bin at the store because I refuse to give that.
I'm glad you
asshole
turned off
another-
that street, went to a different street.
Well,
Sesame Street's better.
number 2, Scarlet Couture.
Ooh.
We talked about that. I think it's just a fun series, and it ends where with an ominous phone call from the guy that she just now realizes is the bad guy, who basically, but who hasn't, is I believe her mother, who he says if she doesn't give him what he wants, she gone. So this should be a fun. There's one issue to go. I'm looking forward to it. It's nice. This is good.
For a spy book, it's actually really cool. I'm glad.
Yeah, I now I remember when I went back onto my comic shop and looked up the first series. I do remember that, and that was in a non-buying phase. And I looked at it and said, I probably looked at it and said, probably the same thing you said, art was probably too cartoony or whatever, but I'm glad I'm picking that up. Number 1, Green Lantern. This could have been exactly before you got here. I pointed out the one plot hole or plot inconsistency where he calls in Barry because he needs somebody fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the issue, he goes, "But are you faster than my ring?" Well, if you were that confident, you just could have used the ring to save the day earlier. But
okay, I missed that. I missed that. But
I caught it. I just didn't. Yeah, I just didn't make the connection.
I guess I just thought that was Hal being cocky. I don't know.
Well, maybe it was. And like I said, Jeremy Adams. I said I have no problem with what he does. This book could have been written in 1975.
Right?
It was. This was fun. It's amazing how someone who has actually lived a normal life, who's married with kids, has friends, can write adults and make them believable
and meaningful
to other people that have actually talked to people. Because too many of the writers today who grew up in chat rooms and texting instead of talking don't know how to write relationships, friendships. I said they think all same sex friendships have to lead to romance because they don't know how to act in the real world. That's why when I found that Tim Sheridan and Jeremy Adams are like best friends, I was blown away.
He's also friends with Mark Waid too. I mean, I think Jeremy Adams is. I think they're like just like he gets along with him. That's about it.
That's what I think. I think he's just a personable guy who can get along with anyone. But then I also hear I've heard people say Gail Simone's really nice in person.
Oh yeah. Look, what Tim Sheridan, what DC is allowing him to do with Alan Scott is an abomination because making Alan gay doesn't even hit the metal stand of my problems with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Having a historical figure who may or may not have been gay, blackmailing him onto the team by showing him pictures. Who took the pictures?
Yeah.
How was that able to happen in 1940? And then it commands that he goes to a sex party so he can sodomize him, and that the JSA is just a propaganda arm for the U.S. government. That is just, I'm sorry. It should never have been greenlit. The fact that DC did, they are morally bankrupt as a company. Like I said, my friend Jerry will never buy another DC comic as long as he lives. And he hasn't bought a Spider-Man since the Gwen Norman thing. So he didn't even make it to one more day. He doesn't forgive. So any money that DC was ever going to get out of him again, no chance. Because they pushed him too far. They're pushing a lot of people too far. And they don't care. That's why I said, if Megan Fitzmartin went to them tomorrow and said, "You get rid of Jeremy Adams or I'll never write for you again," Jeremy Adams is gone. It's just that simple at DC now.
Like I said, I think Jeremy Adams isn't trying to make waves and all. It's all you can have a friend that has certain politics and beliefs in you, but you
so much more important than anything else at that company. I said right before you take me off full screen again, Fuck
Censor
you, Tim
him.
Sheridan, fuck you, Jim Lee, and fuck you, DC Comics. I'm done.
Someone referred to Jim Lee as failing upward.
I've heard that several times. I think
The guy's a fantastic artist, but I don't think.
Hold on. Eric, can you say one more time? You just said.
I think which one?
The last thing he said.
No. Why would
Why
I?
not?
Why
So
would
He
I
said
say
it 3 times.
No, because I want to clip it.
Oh, well, that's your fault. You should have had your finger on the trigger.
That's all right. I'll go back. I'll work it out, and then I'll just when we were like, for what? Fuck you, Tim Sheridan. Fuck you, DC.
that'd be. Know what you do is you go and you like blurp it out like burp you, Tim Sheridan. That would be fun.
All right.
and I did try to real quick. As I did look through the Sandman book.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't do it. I
hear you.
The art, Venditti's writing can't save that art.
All right, Speakeasy, you're going next. You're all set.
Yep.
All right.
Alrighty then. I got a few books. 10, and I'm not saying that these are all bad. I liked everything this week. Batman and Robin #2. Really good book. My only problem is they sort of make Robin look like a kind of girlish with the way they did his hair and all that stuff. But I really enjoyed this book, and I'm going off the bat now. I just decided to stop doing the main Batman title because of the stuff they're putting in there. I'm going to keep doing this one. It's a really good book. Number 9. This was okay. You've got starts out with Alfred writing in his diary, and actually you got some little kid buying a ticket into Gotham. Then you have Alfred explaining, what his issues with staying up all night. And there's a board meeting at some company where they're talking about the tunnels underneath. One of them broke open, and there's this underground river that's coming out. And the head of the company is what do you call it, a Court of Owls. And there's something stuck on the other side of the thing that's coming out, and so they need to get Batman to operate with Talon to go after the bad guy. It's okay. It's not one of the best ones I've read, but it's not that bad. Then I got this. This is the only one that I haven't finished this week, just because I was reading everything else, and it's a little thick. So then I have.
That's what she said.
Yes, it is. And she was talking about my head. That I'm a little thick in the head.
I couldn't. I'm like Michael. Every time I get a chance to say, I'm going to say it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm actually trying to start a thing going the other way of that's what he said. Not many people do that, but I'm trying to get that started, and it's not working very well.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Yeah, my age, she's probably right.
That was good.
Okay. Then I have this. It's pretty good. I do like that cover. Then I saw this and I was like, okay, I'm going to pick it up just to see what's going on. American Psycho #1. I thought it was going to be an adaptation, but it's actually not. It is another guy who is doing the talking.
Mariko Tamaki write that?
Michael Calero?
Must be a pseudonym.
Well, here's
the food on page 1 was
Hold on, guys. The real ratings is here.
That food looked really good.
Sup, Bryce.
But it's so it's through his eyes, and it takes place starts out in 87. His name is Donald Kimball. And you
John
do
Kimball?
see
John Kimball?
Donald.
Oh.
But then you do see part of American Psycho, because this guy's like looking through his window. And then you get to see this wonderful scene, which I can't really put up all that much, but it's then it just skips on to something else. So it really doesn't have a lot to do with Patrick Bateman other than just showing that scene there. It's not Patrick Bateman, so
It's Jason Bateman.
yes, Jason Bateman. Okay, then I have
Zach's like, who?
I know who Jason Bateman is. He's Justine Bateman's brother.
brother. Yes, if it was Justin Bateman's sister, we'd have issues. But he's also a good PR guy for drunken superheroes.
Yeah. He was also in Arrested Development. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Justine isn't Justin now the way her
Ozark.
movies go.
And so they'd both be there's two Justin Batemans.
Well, one's Jason and one's Justin.
So
Okay,
which
then
one's
I
the
have
Master Bateman?
that would have been Justin when he was under 18.
We call him Just Baton. His name's Just.
Because if you're under 18, you're master instead of mister.
Won't be doing any time actually if you're under 18.
And then I have Creepshow number 2. I was really kind of annoyed at the first one, but I picked this up just because, and I'm glad I did. It's pretty good. Oh, and by the way, Creepshow season 4 comes out tonight, tomorrow morning. Then number 4. Very good book. Very good book. I'm going to keep that going.
Nice.
Then I have all 3 of these were blind buys that I picked up because they looked interesting, and they were. Operation Sunshine number 1 by Dark Horse.
I haven't heard of that one.
Neither had I, but it's sort of got a kind of a Fright Night-esque type of Fright Night poster kind of cover here.
Yeah, awesome. Took place in the 70s. You have KFC and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah, did you hear? Was that him? That was that really kind of creepy dude?
I don't know. I didn't read the book.
No, I mean KC and the Sunshine Band.
I don't
But,
remember. I just remember the songs.
And so we got this little. She is what is referred to as a bug, which they refer to as the really young vampires. Young is a relative term.
Versus old.
Yeah, she's like 350 in this one, I think.
That's cheap.
Yeah, and it's sort of, reminiscent of that book, She Bites, because she's in there trying to buy cigarettes, and the guy won't sell her because
She went Chesterfields? Sorry.
she looks too young. But, so it's her, then another guy who works in an ad agency, and they get together, and they're drawn into kind of a big conspiracy with the true vampires, the old ones, the real vampires, OGs as they call them, or OVs or whatever.
The originals.
Yes, just meaning actual vampires and all that stuff. And number 2, Nights. Number 1. It is actually kind of weird. It says Florida is owned by Spain. America consists of 31 states. Vampires, ghosts, and other supernatural creatures are common. and benign. The internet is infallible and irrelevant. But it's basically a kid named, his name is Vance. And he's coming into town, into Florida, because I guess his parents died, and he's coming in to stay with his cousin.
So did they know he was coming in advance?
Yeah, because
Does he come over and
okay, I get it. I get it.
Does he come over and then Hillary Clinton sends him back to live with his father?
Huh?
Carlos, don't you remember that? The boy came across with his mother, and then Hillary says like, "Nope, you're going back to your dad in Cuba."
Alien Gonzalez.
Alien Gonzalez.
Yes, sorry, not Carlos. I want to think of Carlos.
Yes, okay. But so he it's a lot of it with him just getting to know the people in the house. There's his cousin who actually kills people for a living. There's a couple other people and a girl who lives there who's an actual vampire. And he starts kind of a friendship with her. Then it jumps 5 years. And it's pretty good because there's you know that something happened in the 5 years and things are going to get really interesting in the next issue.
I mean, did he seal the deal?
Not yet, but it sounds like they just might.
There you go. That's my boy.
Because and then number 1 was also a blind buy, which turned out to be really good. A Haunted Girl. This was really, really good. And the guy wrote something in the back. The person who wrote it is Ethan Sachs. It's written with Ethan Sachs and Naomi Sachs. I thought they were like husband and wife, but it's a father-daughter team.
Well, it could be husband and wife. I don't know.
No, it's father-daughter. I'll explain that.
Well, yeah. Now you get the comment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I thought it was a wife, but you explain a little bit later how I knew it was a daughter. And it's just
my daughter wife.
No, this isn't Alabama. But it's 15 years ago. Some little kid coming in there, and he gets some sort of a little thing from what do you call that? Heavy metal, the little green ball from heavy metal. And then it jumps to this was in Japan, and this jumps to Westminster, New York now. And
don't say it, Zach. Don't say it.
This young girl, she's in a mental institution for depression. And it shows her dealing with her dad, comes in on her birthday and tries to cheer her up. And then she gets let out. And it's her dealing with trying to go to school and dealing with her first day of school. And then she starts it turns out she's having these nightmares about the spider. And there's some fathers out there talking to her after she wakes up, and then she comes across the little kid, and she's supposed to be saving the world. Now, in the back, the author writes that he's a comic book writer, and his daughter was in an institution for depression. And of course, he's writing about how he was really worried about her as any father would, and he wrote a line down in there about I forget exactly what the line that he put down, but it led to him creating this character, and his daughter helped him write it for authenticity part from the little girl's point of view. And it's a really good book. So I'm glad I picked that up, and Glad I did. Then I got this in the mail. Golden Age #1. So that's going to be awesome. I'll work on reading through that after a bit. And then in Halloween, I know this isn't comics, but got Dracula 4K. And I bought this before I knew the comic was coming out.
Oh, nice.
$5.
I want those digital codes.
I checked in the digital code. This one doesn't have a digital code as far as I know.
Ooh.
Robbery. Highway robbery.
Side note, if you go to Best Buy for your movies, they are no longer be selling physical media.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
First quarter of next year. Yeah.
Best Buy is getting out of the Blu-ray, DVD, 4K physical media.
Don't blame
game.
them. There's no profit for that at all.
Yeah, this was at Barnes and Noble, and the other I think this was at Barnes and Noble, and the other two were Walmart. Then I got this 6-issue set 3 through.
That guy's face has always bugged me.
It's 3 through.
Is it the pins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like needles.
And then Nightmare on Elm Street 4 collection with a glow in the dark cover. And that's sort of why I got the "I'll tear your soul apart" little tag on there. And that's it. That's what I got this week.
All righty. Who wants to go next? Or who has books? Joe, do you have books this week?
I got 2. Hold on.
Right.
One second.
I'll let Zach go.
I'll let Zach go.
Then you can finish this off.
I thought I was going to have the least amount of books. Joe just shows up with 2.
It takes a while for me to get to his house. But it takes a while for me to get to his house, though. He's like across the world.
So I only have 4 books this week. That's how slim the pickings were for me. I did enjoy most of them, though.
That's what sister mom told my brother wife.
Oh.
Brother wife? Okay.
Dang it.
I had a question for you there, Justin. Anyway.
I don't want the answer.
All right. Starting off at the bottom of the list, we have the beautiful Marco Cicchetto cover. This is for Guardians of the Galaxy #7.
You did get it.
I did pick it up because I like the cover. Marco Cicchetto.
That's Gina Carano as Gamora.
I think Gina's a little bit more built than this Gamora is. I don't know.
Let me have my dream.
Fine, you can have it. Anyway.
So Zach's the dream killer, too, instead of everything else on top of it. Thanks. That's a good idea.
Hey, my dreams.
Wait, who's on top?
My dreams got killed earlier today, okay?
Honestly, I don't mind being on the bottom, when it comes to Gina Carano, but I like the top 2.
You'd have no choice about being on the bottom with Gina Carano. I don't think anyone here could have it.
That's not a bad place to be.
Y'all have no choice, and you'll like it. Dang it!
She could be on the top of all 5 of us. I think we could jump her all at the same time, and she'd still kick our asses.
I just said I don't mind being on top or bottom. But
we're talking fighting wise. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, enough depravity for right now. No, so I was iffy about this because the synopsis made it sound like all the OG Guardians were dead, and Hulkling and Wiccan were going to take over the show and become the new Guardians of the Galaxy. That is not the case. I am happy to report that is not the case. The Guardians are still alive inside of Groot space, which is this giant Groot cloud that's out in space.
Of course. Yeah, they're not dead. They're just not the front of the book.
Now, Hulkling and Wiccan are trying to keep these warring alien civilizations from destroying Groot space, because what Groot is trying to do is he's trying to bring restoration and life to this section of the galaxy. And because he seemingly kills everything that gets in his way.
It sounds like you're saying group space.
Groot.
I know.
Groot space. Anyway, the end of the book, it's revealed that the next villain, quote unquote, that they're gonna fight is Star-Lord's stepsister, because he's had a stepsister. I'm actually surprised Lansing and Kelly remembered that, because that was back from the Zdarsky run, I think, when Star-Lord was grounded on Earth. They revealed that he had a stepsister who was like the princess empress of Spartax before he became emperor. So anyway, it wasn't a great issue, but it was better than I thought it was going to turn out to be. So
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's
no,
what he
not.
said.
Yeah. I won't fight that.
For better Guardians, though, get the Dan Anderson run. It's on Epic form.
It's also $45. I saw that.
Did you check in stock?
Get on in stock, bro.
No, I did not get it on in stock.
Right,
I did get this. I did get this though. This is Avengers number 6. This is from Jed McKay. This was a really cool issue. This one is where the Avengers turn it around. They're all doing their solo fights against these new villains, the Ash and Combine, and they all seemingly defeat them. And it's really cool. It's kind of like, like when you read like those old comics and you're like, how is Spider-Man going to, fight his way out of this one? Or, they kind of have some really cool moments like that. It's like, oh, that's how Iron Man's going to pull out a win. That's actually pretty cool. So there were some fun moments like that. I did also get the Mark Brooks Floating Heads cover because I do love the floating heads.
That's what I like.
That's what she said. Never.
Yeah.
Number 2. This is the one where Breen's gonna unmute to say something. If he hasn't already for Avengers, so he might not for this. I don't know. But I did pick up Sandman number 1. Wesley Dodds, Sandman number 1. This was a freaking fun read, man. I really enjoyed this. So this is set in the 1940s. It's not set in the current day. So it's set in like the 1930s or 40s. And it's really, really fun. Now, there are some panels where Riley Rossmo's art did, the way that he draws heads, it did take me out of it a little bit. But for the most part, the writing was solid. So Wesley Dodds in this, they kind of go into his origin a little bit, and he's, been working to perfect his sleeping gas so that he can knock out criminals without killing them. And there's like all this really cool stuff. So his girlfriend, I think they only say her first name. They don't really say her last name, or I missed it. Her girlfriend, his girlfriend.
Was it Sierra?
No, Deanne.
Oh.
She's like this socialite character, kind of Janet Van Dyne-ish. Actually, yeah, and he's a scientist, so he's kind of Hank Pym-ish. But yeah, so he tries to go to the military and wants to sell them his sleeping gas so that they can save people's lives, save soldiers' lives. And the military is like, nah, bullets are cheaper. And so he's bummed out about that. And so he goes to this party with his girlfriend, and he's kind of bummed out, but he meets Rex Tyler, aka Our Man. So I'm hoping Our Man shows up later in this. That'd be really fun.
You mean it's not the party that J. Edgar Hoover is throwing?
This is not. We do not talk about that. That has nothing to do with this.
The fact that you said bullets are cheaper, I think of that every time you mentioned Nolan North, and or not Nolan North, but Ryan North.
Well, I thought he wanted to sell the sleeping gas to J. Edgar so he could use it at that party.
Oh,
with Alan Scott, sure, yeah.
But anyway, this was a lot of fun though. He leaves this party early that he goes to with his girlfriend. He leaves early. He goes to an alley. He saves a guy after beating up some thugs. All the while, his journal with all the previous failed attempts of sleeping gas that are really deadly and make people go crazy, that's been stolen by somebody. So it's really, really fun book. That would be one of the 2 books that I would really recommend this week. The other one is, of course, Green Lantern number 4. I'm not even a huge Barry fan, but this was just really fun to see Hal and Barry teaming up again. A lot of cool. Sinestro, actually, I really like this Sinestro. This, he's kind of cool and calm and calculated, but he's also I will blow crap up if I can't get back to my planet. So I kind of like this direction they're going with Sinestro for right now. And then also Barry just kind of being shocked that Hal isn't back together with Carol, and he wants them to be, and he's kind of giving him advice on how to do that. I was like, oh, that's
he's
really
kind of
cool.
like us.
Buddy stuff. No, not really.
We're surprised.
We're like Hawkman and Green Arrow. We're not Hal and Barry. Maybe Hal and Ollie, maybe. But yeah, really, really fun book. I didn't really read the backstory. It's that Tomasi. There's a Peter Tomasi thing in the back.
Did you see the art though? The art is what
the art was bizarre to me. I might have to go back and
the whole
give it another
takeaway
try.
is that she's Thal Sinestro. Is that a new daughter? Is that someone that's been in before?
He's had a daughter.
This is Thaal.
Thal or Thal. One or Thal is the last name.
So
Sinestro Thal or Thal Sinestro. Yeah. Anyway,
is that at the end? So
I did pick up a back issue as well. I found a Terrifics number 3 for my Terrifics collection that I'm growing.
Mighty Terrific.
Mr. Terrific, Plastic
$2.99.
Man.
I'm crying here.
$2.99, man. I got all of these books for under $20. So
Yeah, I remember that tagline. Drawing the line at $2.99.
$2.99, right?
They
Right.
drew the line and they stepped over it. Well,
Then they jumped over it.
they drew the line somewhere else. That's what they did.
But then I told you in the Discord, so I took this girl that I've been seeing to the shop with me. She ended up buying the Joshua Williamson Green Arrows. I was like, I think this is a sign. But then she also bought Birds of Prey number 1 too, which I haven't read, so I can't comment on. She likes Black Canary though, so
I did too.
Which version of that's another one that they reboot every 5 minutes.
she bought the new Birds of Prey number 1, not the Chuck Dixon or Gail Simone one.
Well,
So
I would. Here you go. If she likes Black Canary, buy her the old DC Showcase ones.
yeah. But anyway, that's what I got though. That's my week this week. Next week I'll have a much better selection of books, but I'm not going to be here. I might have to pre-record a review or something.
He decided to be a best man at somebody's wedding, so he could not make it for this.
Decide nothing. I was asked to be.
Well, you decided
no,
to.
you have
Well,
priorities.
it's a decision then. You accepted.
Yeah, I did accept. This is one of my best friends. Of course.
Say, hey, I've got more important stuff to do, man. I got to do my comic stuff.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
He's like, dude, you're gonna get married, and then that's it. So why do I have to be there? I'm gonna be there at the wedding, the rehearsal. It's okay.
The rehearsal's where all the good food is.
Actually, well, that's if you have the dinner, but when you actually get to the wedding, what's with their spread is the after.
I mean, just tell the guy, go look. I'm gonna see your wife the night before at the hotel.
No, I can't do that.
Actually, didn't you say the reason
You're
tomorrow?
right. You probably shouldn't tell him.
Tomorrow is the bachelor party, right?
Tomorrow and then going into Saturday. It's an overnight deal.
You're having a bachelor party on Friday the 13th? Oh, no, nothing's going to go wrong with that.
We're not going out. We're having an overnight tabletop game.
I remember my friend he proposed to his now wife. He proposed to her.
He's now a wife? He had a sex change?
No, I'm saying now his wife.
Oh, now his wife. Okay.
Yeah, and then they went to see Christmas. They only got to see the Christmas lights. He proposed to her. She said yes. On the drive home, he hit a deer.
Oh.
But they got married.
Free food.
A poor car, man.
Yeah, but
That
venison.
too. Venison, though, man. That stuff ain't cheap.
I'm just saying, if you want a sign, that's a sign right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a sign. Yeah, yeah. I don't think everyone should get married on Friday the 13th just because that's a sign.
Oh, no, he's not getting married on Friday the 13th. That's just when the bachelor party starts.
I know.
Yeah.
Is it out in the cabin in the woods? Right on a lake?
Not in the woods, but we're not going into the cities, though. Good Lord, no. Not tomorrow. You couldn't pay me $1 million. Why am I still on screen? Joe's got books.
Yes.
I get
Sorry,
I do.
Joe.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got a couple things. No singles. No singles. I'm kind of getting out of that game a little bit. So
Well, you are married. Hope no singles.
yeah, well, just so. Just got this one yesterday. The trade paperback to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. So I got it in singles and I got it in trade. So
nice.
Yay!
You read all that.
Remember what I was saying earlier about him being
I
Morphin Power
reviewed
Rangers fan?
this entire series like issue by issue as it was coming out, and I was always such a fan of like the way Ryan Perry does his Power Ranger Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossovers. And I love the Dan Mora's art in these books.
It's the only Ryan we accept on this channel.
Every single time I picked one of these up, I'm just like, God damn! It's like I love Dan Mora's drawing Power Rangers.
I'm not a huge Power Rangers fan, but I gotta say though, I never read the first volume, but I picked it up the second volume each issue, and I loved it.
Yeah, no, he's really good. Like Ryan Parrott, like I will say, when he took over Power Rangers from Kyle Higgins, he definitely continued on what Kyle Higgins was doing, but then sort of added his own flair to it because they always take it these very interesting approaches with their Power Ranger stories where they try to make them a little more grounded, a little more relatable. Treat the source material like a little less campy.
The cool thing about those turtles, they're the exact same turtles you get in this book. They feel like the Saturday morning cartoon turtles.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
But in this one, they get to turn into Power Rangers too, which is also really rad. I never thought I would get to honestly a crossover between Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is something that freaking 8-year-old me would have just lost his freaking mind to if they had turned this into a show or something. I mean, heck, it did happen on Power Rangers in Space. Even they just didn't get to turn it into Power Rangers, which is a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah,
but I understand budget is part of the thing, and that was also so that they could pitch the live action turtle show.
Also, wasn't Jenica on that?
The what?
The one that's supposed to be now is now named Jenica. There was a female turtle.
Oh yeah, Venus de Milo was the original female turtle in that series. But of course, that show only ran one season because ratings were great, and the show was exceedingly expensive.
Well, I gotta say, I did like the fact, they're gonna live action. Then I realized it's just way boring compared to the cartoon. So.
Yeah, they definitely had to pull some stuff back, but and they had some very interesting elements though. I remember from the Next Mutation live action show, they introduced vampires and other dimensions, and
yes,
it was interesting, because you had the vampire that was trying to eat the turtles, and then you also had the main dragon bad guy who was also trying to eat the turtles.
The one
everyone just wanted to eat the turtles.
The Saturday Morning Adventure cartoon or turtles thing has been fun. That last one it's written by the guys who did IDW Ghostbusters, Eric Burnham and Dan Schoening, and they just have fun. They had a Freddy villain type of as a villain in the Halloween special. I just loved it, man. They even mentioned it's how wasn't the Foot Clan? Wasn't this other guy? Well, and Ralph's like, well, Mikey is correct. They retconned him.
Well, Mikey likes it just because Mikey likes everything.
Like I said, when you get two guys who basically make puns about how Turtles was retcon.
And also one of the elements I liked in this show too is for a change, the Power Rangers got turned into mutants.
Oh yeah, that was interesting too.
It kind of that reminded me of that show, like a dinosaur version of Street Sharks, or Extreme Dinosaur. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I like the fact that they actually had to struggle, as it wasn't it's like, we can do it right away. You had what?
It was actually
Kimberly's how do I fly?
Yeah, and then it was very interesting because at the very end when they had to turn back into humans, they're like, well, we miss being able to bench press 30 tons. That's actually kind of cool, Tommy's breathing fire as a dragon mutant.
Shredder with a morpher. Ranger morpher.
Yeah, that was actually really rad. He's like, I'm the Green Ranger now.
He plays the flute.
Yep. Commands a Dragon Zord, and Dragon Zord's like, he's got the flute, so I guess it works. I'm just really waiting to see what they do with the because they set up for the third one, and I'm hoping the third one does happen because I don't want a Power Rangers Justice League incident where you leave it on a cliffhanger and then you never go back to it.
That's how it was with the show. I watched the 2 seasons, and then they introduced these are the Alien Rangers. I said nope. I left.
Back in the
live action
95.
Yeah.
When they did Mighty Morphin, they switched to Alien Rangers for 10 episodes and then went back.
Yeah, I just kind of and then everyone they replace people because of contract issues. I didn't know. I was like, dude, everyone is leaving, and then I caught on. Wait, every new season is a new team, and I got sick of it.
Actually, I really enjoyed when they did that. It made each season feel fresh, and for me, I feel like Power Rangers' best years came from In Space up.
The only thing that grounded them was Tommy towards the end, but
I mean, for the original team, sure, because I mean, it practically did become Tommy and the Power Rangers. They actually thought about changing the name of the show to that at one point, but then they decided, okay, well, let's keep it, Power Rangers. But, anyway, book number 2. This one arrived earlier this week, also after some time. Immortal Hulk Omnibus.
Whoa.
Ooh. That's a big one.
Yeah, this one, it's almost as large as Blackest Night.
150 the price?
It was, 150 was the price. What is it? I got this one off. Well, because I tried to get it off in stock first, but unfortunately, that one sold out like almost immediately. Like right as I hit checkout, this item sold out. Like everybody, I must have been flocking to it. So I went to Midtown for this, and I paid was it $120. So I got $30 off. So that's still something. It took about 2 months to get here. So, but yeah, it's a pretty beefy.
Yeah, did you fix the issue you had with it?
What, the little crease in the side or the push-in corner? I mean, there's not really much you can do about that. I mean, it's part of the shipping, you know. United States Postal Service, get a little bend in the corners. You know, it's also the way it gets packaged too. You know, I found thus far in stock trades probably packs the best out of all the companies I order from.
Yeah, they do a good job packing the books in there.
They do a fantastic job. I mean, Midtown does a close second, but they do it. They do just enough less where sometimes bigger books come, you know, slightly damaged like that, like, you know, just the corners banged up. And of course, Amazon, forget about it. They're just taking like a freaking hammer to that and just bashing it before they even send it out. I swear.
Who does that? Amazon?
Yeah. Amazon uses the thinnest boxes possible, and there's like, you know, every time I get a box, it just, I don't know, it looks like somebody just like dropped an anvil on it. It's horrible half the time. I can't even order from Amazon anymore. And again, you know, that whole conversation that I had with the lady at Amazon who's like, oh yeah, no, we use the kind of boxes we do, and we don't really put a lot of protection for books because, you know, we're trying to be green and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, in your effort to be green, it took 4 plane rides to, like, you know, to and from to get it,
and also
back and forth.
If you send your book back the way they send it to you, they get all pissed off.
Yeah. If you send it back the way, if you just put it in a box and you ship it out, they do not accept it. You have to put bubble wrap and you have to pack it like perfectly because it's like, well, we have to verify it was damaged on our end of the thing. So I don't know, it's pretty dumb. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Like, I have this one also in singles, and I knew once I heard the omnibus was coming out, I'm like, I knew I had to grab it because I really enjoyed this Hulk run. Because, you know, it's a good book. I enjoy it. So, yeah,
that's their fire damage on our end as they're shooting you with a gun.
Was that?
No, I said as they're damaging your product, we can make sure it wasn't damaged on our end, and they've documented proof a guy just, you know, dropping. Oops, oh well.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like they you know, that's the problem with like, you know, shipping and stuff like that is, you know, they're taking, you know, they're putting stuff in a very flimsy box with like no protection that's like very lightweight, easily crushable, and it's like, okay, yeah, this can ship with a safe also within, and there's everything's just smacking into each other.
Well, yeah, the corners, and they don't put anything in there, so the corner, the book just slides in there. Goes corner to corner.
Yeah, and that's all it's doing is just like thunk, 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 you know. And like I probably in this last year returned more books than I've actually ended up settling for via Amazon. Like my last, I'd say 4 orders were just completely unacceptable, and I was just like, oh yeah, I had that issue with Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume Number 2. You know, they sent the book to me, it was damaged. I sent it back. They sent me a replacement. That one also got damaged in shipping. And I called them and I was like, it happened again. You got the book is like damaged. Second time was even worse, actually. And
there's an Amazon warehouse by where I live. I'm like, can I just go straight to the warehouse and pick it up?
Yeah, see, if I was an option, I would totally take that.
I'm like, going to the post office. Can I just pick it up from there? I don't want it to be delivered.
Yeah, I don't want it to be delivered. I just want to go pick it up.
But
that's the nature of it. It's just like that's what the Amazon's decided to do. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just take my business elsewhere. So, yeah. Oh, and Justin brought up DCBS. Oh yeah, DCBS also they do very good packing too.
Well, that's the other thing too. Amazon's the middleman. If you can eliminate Amazon, go straight to the actual company that's selling it. And sometimes they package it better.
Yeah.
If you're buying from
that is accurate. I try not to buy from like directly from the warehouse. Like if I have to get it from Amazon, like if I absolutely had no choice, I would definitely go for like an individual seller.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds like you got.
But that's that's all I got for this week. I'm hoping next week my next in stock order will be in because I got like a lot of books coming.
I got 6 books on my pull list next week, and I'm excited about all of them.
Don't forget next week to budget for the Deceased box set.
I've already got most. Actually, I need to get the last one, but I've got all the other ones in hardcover already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna buy the box set.
Dude, that's a good box set.
I don't have any of them in.
I think I have one of them hardcover, but I have all of them with the exclusive covers. You know, the ones that fold over.
Which you did that for the last one for Deceased 3. I remember that.
I did for all of them actually.
Did they do that for all of them? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I decided to get that cover because I figured that's more incentive buying it than for someone who's buying the regular floppy A. You know, like maybe. But then again, it all depends on who's buying it from me. You know, if I decide to sell it. Ash only has one book again next week.
Actually, I should have a bunch of stuff to show. I don't know what I'm getting for floppies next week, but I was supposed to have a book coming in today, which was the Death of Captain America omnibus, but it didn't show.
Is it the Ed Brubaker Captain America?
Yeah, the Death of Captain America.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I saw that one. Okay.
I've got... Have you ever heard of Beauty?
Mm-mm.
I got a 6-issue, 6 trades coming in along with this thing called Blacksmith. It looks good. And the new Vanish on an in-stock trade that should be coming tomorrow with the next couple of days. And then I also have the new creepy archives coming out in the next few days. So those are going to be some fun ones.
Yay. Yeah, I can't remember if it's next week or the week after for the Super Sons omnibus. Definitely want to get that one, though.
Books next week again. Short list.
I got
World's Finest.
World's Finest. You got Superman. You got Moon Knight. You got Godzilla versus King Kong versus Justice League.
Yeah!
Moon Knight.
Shows all over that one.
And Jeremy Adams' Jake Garrick series.
But there's one you're forgetting. Big Game.
Duh. Oh, yeah, Big Game.
Yeah.
God, that one just flew by me.
And then also the Blood Tria.
Next week RDV should be able to fill out the RDV Power Hour.
Yeah.
Right?
You'll be okay. You'll have all the books that I was going to talk about anyway.
Yeah. Another Walking Dead. They've just been releasing Walking Deads like every week now, apparently.
Did you see they're bringing Michonne and Rick back for the TV show?
Yeah. That was
a movie or whatever it is.
A week after the season finale of Walking Dead, they announced the 3 different spinoffs.
Did you watch the what's his name? The one in Paris?
Daryl? No, I haven't.
Yeah. It's great.
They've already said Carol is coming back for the next season, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I forgot she was still alive.
That's been a fun show. Actually seeing different new zombies and they're much more challenging. These zombies, you can't just go up there and kill them. These zombies have acid blood. It will burn you. Because now other people probably don't know this because I went and watched The Walking Dead World Beyond. I'm a completionist. I have to. If I start something, I watch it. It's the most horrible show ever. But they reveal that is where everything originated. It was from France. France is the one that was experimenting on this virus. It went to Ohio, broke out there. But France, they revealed that the new zombies. The zombies are faster. They are much more deadlier. And like I said,
are they directed by Zack Snyder?
No. There's no Zygers.
Running zombies. Blah!
No, but you get to see Daryl Dixon, instead of using a crossbow, he's using a freaking mace, swinging it around and hitting him in the head and stuff. He's using medieval weapons.
That reminds me of one of the shows that they did of The Walking Dead. It was him and somebody else, and they were in this like a place with a bunch of semis. And he takes this long chain and was using it, and he takes a license plate and uses a license plate to slice one of their heads off.
Yeah.
And the only reason I noticed that is the license plate was from Alaska. So that was kind of cool.
But if you do want to watch a good zombie show, check out what was that? Z Nation. That was fun.
Have you been watching the Nation V or Gen V?
Oh, the spinoff for
the boys in
Yes.
school.
That's
not-
really good.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I just kind of dipped out. And it's just same with the Loki season 2. I kind of want to watch it, but I just always forget. Like, hey, I should go watch it.
I dipped out. I dipped out of Loki first season. I didn't like it, but Gen V is awesome.
Yeah.
Marvel doesn't give me the same amount of hype. I've been watching Smallville again.
I do kind of want to see Loki because I did like Loki season 1 enough, so I might check it out once the whole season comes out.
I liked Loki season 1 up until like the very end.
Yeah. The other thing is
that's been the biggest issue I find with a lot of the Marvel shows is even if the show's decent, the endings are usually pretty bad.
So the rumor is that they're going to start changing their format how they do shows over there. They're going to stop doing these miniseries, or episodes. They're going to start doing actual full season shows.
So I heard they're finally going to start doing like actual whole Bibles of like this is the story. Stick to it.
And honestly, with the news coming out that they fired the writers for Daredevil Born Again.
I was just going to bring that up.
I saw that.
I hope that it's good for the better. Because the guy who plays Vincent D'Onofrio, he's playing Kingpin. He liked the first. He said he liked the first type, and now he says, "Oh, I like this one too." It's like this guy's like, "I'll be Kingpin and what? I get a paycheck regardless."
Yeah,
that's true. That's one way.
I don't really trust what he says, but
well, you don't want to get him mad.
Pay him to.
You don't want to get him mad because if you get him mad and catch him in the bathroom, Yeah,
not exactly hearing great things about Daredevil, though.
Yeah,
like I said,
no Karen, no Foggy.
Well, they say they want to lean into the She-Hulk version of Daredevil,
which is a completely different vibe,
right? Well, because that's what the MCU is now.
The whole walk of shame.
By the way, has anybody even mentioned Keith Giffen?
Not in the stream tonight, but
who's that?
Keith Giffen? Really? Just
DC Comics.
The
Legion
International.
He worked with J.M. DeMatteis on a lot of Justice League.
He also worked on Blue Beetle as well.
Yeah. Dude, he passed away at the age of 70.
70 years old.
Did you see his last tweet?
Yes, I did. Man, I hope that I have the foresight to set something up like that before I go.
What was his last tweet?
His last tweet.
Anything to get out of New York City Comic Con. Then he published his birth date and death date, and then said, "Blah ha 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 ha." He died a day later.
Oh wait, did he set it up on a timer?
He must have scheduled it. He must have.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I couldn't imagine him actually dying with his last breath.
So, did he die of cancer? Is that what it was?
He had a stroke.
Stroke.
Okay.
And he must have known something was coming, but but that's who he was.
Can you imagine him sitting there having a stroke and trying to reach for the tweet button?
But he's
need to hit send.
That was a heck of a tweet.
I said,
that is hilarious though. Like, it's sad he's gone, but that's actually a pretty good sense.
You know what I think it was? It's probably he told his wife, it's like, I had it scheduled, so I want you to, if I were to go in there quickly and change the date,
Well,
Mark says he asked his family to post it when he passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, see,
I think they were good sports about it.
But I don't know how. I mean, maybe he was sick, but he couldn't predict that he was going to have a stroke that was going to kill him. But either way, like I said, in the 80s, Teen Titans and the Legion were the two books that were actually selling Marvel numbers, and Keith Giffen was the writer of the Legion.
Maybe this is a bad.
The Wahaha Justice League. I mean, he did a ton of work for Marvel in the 70s as both an artist and a writer. He was, like I said, very versatile. And just like I said, like whoever was this, I think DeMatteis said he was a curmudgeon by choice.
Yes,
and that's just who he was. And I said it's sad that he passed. We give you an idea. We talked about. I brought it up last night on the Fossil show. The only other Fossil that reacted was Tim, because I think most of the other guys have been anti-new comics for so long. I don't think the name resonated immediately with the rest of them. But Howler Mouse was, I said he's a huge fan, just like I am, and I'm not sure when it'll be, but I kind of laughingly refer to Joe Corallo myself as Yul Carter's Death Squad, because we went on to eulogize Neil Adams and George Perez, and we're going to come back for Keith Giffen. And I don't know if it'll be this Tuesday or the following Tuesday.
You guys remember Colleen Doran?
Yeah.
She posted yesterday. She's my dear friend, my very dear friend. One of the best friends I ever had. Keith Giffen. I'm heartbroken. I will love you forever. You were endlessly kind and crazy, funny and awful, beyond smart, truly original. And she's just been going on in today to do. She's just been depressed. Honestly, and now this might be a poor taste of a joke. This is more of a Zach joke, but Keith probably said, you know what? He saw Fire and Ice, in Smallville, and he said it's the best time to check out. Bahaha.
I would not make a joke like that. That is, don't you dare say that is a Zach joke.
You know who would make a joke like that though? Keith Giffen.
Pinkman.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
I mean, I said that's. Yeah, I said that's.
He's like
that's a shame
the cookers.
he had more to do, and it's a shame that he won't get to do it now. And I said,
right.
I promise you, what Mark Millar was talking about a couple weeks ago, Keith Giffen was on that list of people he said need to go back and save comics. He was talking about people just like Keith Giffen.
Like I said, DC needs to have a Jim Shooter, and then they also need to stop.
DC just needs to go away. They're done. The rot is too deep. The cancer is just. It's stage 5.
No. DC's gonna make a comeback. Just watch. See, the Elseworld is coming back, right? They have like 4 Batman titles coming out. It's totally gonna save DC. Just watch.
We always say
don't they drug test spouses on base, Joe? Because you'd fare big time if they did. Higher than a motherfucker right now, man.
No, they don't actually.
Honestly, I hate to say it, like comics are dead. I hate it because it's so cliche. Everyone says it for the past
It's the
10
two big
years.
ones.
I was about to say, who let the black pill in here?
It's primarily Marvel and DC that are having the biggest issue. I'm still having an easy going time, like with the indies and stuff like that. I can find some really good stuff on the indie market. So, but I mean, unfortunately, Marvel and DC are technically the health of the industry. So when they're in trouble,
you know what though? At this point, I mean, I made that case for years. Now I'm thinking there are stores that are surviving with that by divesting themselves of new comics.
Yeah.
You could, I think, at this point, if you did the other things well, you could probably survive just by bringing in indies. Because they said Marvel's biggest problem right now is just none of their books are good. 5 years ago they were offensively bad. Now they're just bad. DC is offensively bad now.
I would say Marvel's DC's biggest problem is their management. You get rid of the management, get rid of the whole agenda, all this virtue signaling, who care about the message, change it back to the way it was. You can. I mean, you're not going to
go back to telling stories.
All right, start with Marvel. The woke virus is everywhere, from Disney to ABC to ESPN to all properties in between. The management are ideologues. The people they hire are ideologues. The fans they want and can't get because they don't exist in big enough numbers are ideologues. They're not going to change.
I mean, they got to keep those ESG scores up. That's what it's all about.
And eventually that money's going to run out. But by that time, they'll have taken over everything, and it'll be like Elysium in real life. Wasn't that the Matt Damon movie?
I don't know, but go with me on a fantasy adventure. Let's say for some reason Disney realizes that they're losing too much money with Marvel and comics, and somebody decides they sell it to somebody else, and somebody else
say that somebody else isn't even more woke.
Who's to say it isn't this Elon Musk and say, you know what, fuck it, I bought Marvel.
Well, I've been waiting for a year for the second Elon Musk. Hasn't happened yet. I'm wondering if there even is one.
Like I said,
now, didn't I read someplace that DC is up for sale?
No.
there's
DC itself isn't up for sale. WB Discovery is looking for either a partner or a buyout of Warner Brothers.
And the rumors is that Universal might be interested in buying it.
Yeah.
Better than Disney.
Well, Universal and versus Disney.
Yeah, but at this point too, like WB is in such financial like they're so deep in the hole. Like Discovery just bought them a few years ago, and it's like they're already looking to get rid of them because they're that far in the hole. Because that's the dealie. That's the deal with that is you're buying that, therefore you're buying all the debt with them.
You're buying all the debt, yeah.
Ooh, that's encouraging, Ash. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So I guess
there's a conservative billionaire who is only buying controlling shares of Disney.
You could have somebody come by this and without woke policy slowly start changing things. They're gonna get treated like Elon Musk. They're gonna get treated like Trump.
Yeah, but see, both those guys are rich enough that they can just sit there and do this.
Let him finish, Geeky.
Yeah, but as Eric has pointed out, there's a lot of people who left the company or left the hobby because they just don't. They're done with Marvel, done with DC. Maybe they're in indies if they're still in the comic books, but a lot of them have just left. They moved on. He said, "Screw this." We have fossils on the Fossil channel. How many of them are actually buying modern? I bet you there's probably one or two out of 12 or 15 people.
One.
Yeah.
Well, Rod and Shannon still buy a couple, but very much. I'll be honest. If I didn't work there now, I would not be going every week. I wouldn't be because as much as I enjoy some of the indies that I'm reading, it's not enough to bring me in the shop to make sure I'm there on the right Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's. I said this industry's. This industry's on life support, kids.
You just go back a few years. Heck, I used to get books by large stacks because there used to be a point where there was too much good stuff and it was hard to niche down, and then then the inverse sort of happened, and it's like, okay, well, now it's hard to find the good stuff.
Got back into comic books by a fluke. I saw I Love Comics live stream, and then I started listening to what these guys were saying. I had more fun hanging out with Breen, and all the other guys, and even Ash too. I met Ash too. Yeah. One of the craziest streams I always say is I met Ash and Dalton at the same time on a Hangout, Google Hangouts call, and then he leaves at the end of it. I'm stuck with Dalton and Ash fighting. I didn't know what it was for, but I was just fighting or something, and I was just like, "What have I gotten myself into?" But here we are. I'm friends with Ash. I'm friends with Dalton. I'm friends with everyone here. But if it wasn't for me just looking up the hell of it, because I would over the 9 years that I wasn't reading comic books, I would dip in to see what they're doing with Spider-Man, and I'm like, let's see what's going on, and I was so pissed because what they're doing with after One More Day. I just happened to look at a One More Day video. E was recommended, follow there. Then E started wanting, let's do this. We've got issues thing. That's what got me in the back in the reading books. Otherwise, I was done with the hobby. I was out of it. I was rich. I wasn't spending money.
I had a bank account.
I had a bank.
I think a lot of the problem is one, the management, but two, you have someone who might want to write a story that'd be good, and the editorials will sit there and say, no, you can't do that. So anyone who can do some good stuff bolts and goes to independence. So you can't have the two big ones. They can't keep anybody who can tell a good story there because they're being just strangled.
I mean, it's exactly what Breen was saying. Is like there's so many people into their ideology and stuff. Is like they're not hiring writers; they're hiring activists to do the writing, and that trickles down into the comics. See, I mean, even years ago, Stanley said, when it comes to politics and comic books, it's story first. Then you wrap up any political opinion you might have within the context of the story so that they either get it or they don't, but either way, they enjoy a good story. But now it's a political opinion at the forefront of the book in lieu of the story.
Well, the same with Marvel and DC. Marvel has the popular IPs people have loved, and they just from wherever. So they're always going to be the first two draws for everybody because people see they see a cartoon, or if I watch the '90s Spider-Man, or any of that stuff, or even saw the Toby I was gonna say Tommy
Maguire,
yeah.
Tobey Maguire.
But I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, they're always going to have the more popular IPs. But I think that if you were say the opposite, maybe Marvel and DC weren't really doing so many movies or stuff, and then you start to see like Geigerverse gets popular, he puts out a TV show or something like that, and it's not woke, and people are like, "Cool, this is based off a comic book form." You might get some people that way, but I mean, like I said, the fact that Marvel has Disney money, they have attractions, they have ride stuff. People are always going to go, "Oh, I love Hulk, I love this," because they're established as being good. But it's not going to get people to come in to read the books, though. Unfortunately, because they've changed it so much.
The only reason why these characters have done so well in live action and cartoons was, and this is something that they can't understand when they try to replace them all with like Kamala Khans and whatnot. It took decades to condition a populace to at least be able to recognize, you might, whether it was from the TV series or from a shirt you saw somebody wearing or a trapper keeper, you knew who the Hulk was. You knew who the Fantastic Four. You knew who Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, all his characters. So it was easier to sell them as live action properties. You don't, and so like, there was a Bloodshot movie a couple years ago, and yes, it came out during the pandemic, so it was doomed from the start. But if they release that now, it's still not going to do well because no one knows who Bloodshot is, unless you could package that as like a rare, unless you got, say, if you'd done that, well, actually when Arnold was at his peak, that character hadn't been created yet. But there's so it's a tough sell to begin with. So you're never going to get the numbers coming into the stores that you would like, even with even though these characters are more recognizable than ever. But it should never have gotten this low, and it wouldn't have if the activists and diversity hires hadn't shanghaied the industry.
Look at what Justin said.
You're on mute. Are you muted? Your microphone came up, turn off again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, my mic going to make a noise, so you guys will hear all of the rapper noises.
That's what we tuned it out.
That's an E thing.
I've been conditioned by E. Dang it. No,
when Zach's over there making like Mickey Spillane writing, I the jury, that's.
I didn't know it was that loud. I'm sorry.
I got Geek Show over there snorting because he's got the sniffles.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's me. I got a little bit of a little cold, little runny nose.
You and our buddy at Publix are both sick right now.
Yeah, well, actually, I think it's the other sniffing thing. That's why you were.
Is that why Pixel's reading with us tomorrow?
Yeah,
He's
so
home from work.
Yes. He decided to put his foot down and say, "I can't work this day." No, I'll just say, you take away Marvel and DC's, their merchandise, their shirts, their rides, and all that stuff, they'd go away. Because
they'd go bankrupt in a second.
They'd be gone. Yes, and that's what I say when I see these other companies struggling, these other indie books or companies. Now, especially when I see what's going on with Ghost Machine. Ghost Machine was already in presence in Jeff Johns stuff, and he's doing the Geigerverse. I really hope these guys do well. I mean, Image is still around. I hope, and I said Image is still putting out somewhat decent books. But I say
somewhat decent. Transformers #1 just came out, sir.
Listen to me, sir. For the past 30 years, how many IDW or not IDW? How many Image books have you bought?
How many Image? Oh, well, I didn't start reading Image books until maybe.
I don't care. How many have you bought? It's 2023.
I mean, anything. I mean, I bought a bunch with Mark Millar writing them, Daniel Warren Johnson writing them.
But are you going back and buying the back issues? Back side. It's just saying.
In trades, not floppies so much, but in trades.
Indies. That's the thing with indies. There is virtually no back issue market for them.
Yeah.
Well, almost all of them, except for maybe The Walking Dead and Invincible. I can't think of an indie series that is a true ongoing. Like they're all limited series in some respect.
Yeah, and the problem with that is they're ordered in such small quantities by shops. There's some people just from the beginning say, "I'll wait for the trade," or if you discover a series, say it's a 5-issue series, and you find out an issue 4, man, I really want to read this. There's a good chance that the shop that you go to doesn't have any issue 3s or 2s because they were you order more of issue 1, then scale it down, and a lot of times you don't know until it's too late if you should have ordered more. So then you wait for the trade. So yeah, the back issue market, because that's one of the things that where I work. What I'm going to be doing next week probably is just going through and just pulling out long boxes full of indie comics that have no shot of ever getting cover price. And
my shop.
I feel bad. I said when I did this last year, I pulled Beckstar. I said, so friends aren't immune. If they're sitting there rotting, they go. They get marked out.
Yeah, my friend JR, his shop. He said he said I don't have a collection. My collection is what's in the store here, and I sell it. And he said I'm surviving by selling back issues. People bring in their old back issues when somebody croaks off. I get new issues in, and I get constant. And he said I do 3 times a year. I do half offs on everything on the wall and the back. The new books are still a full price. He said eventually, people might lose interest. People who love those original stuff, all these new readers. He said that's my greatest fear. The new readers may not come back in the buyback issues. They may have left the hobby because they don't like what's going on. But then again, it's like it's a crapshoot. But he says like he still brings in on good days. He says he brings in $2,000 on Wednesdays alone. That's when all comics are sold, new stuff.
I don't know how good that is considering how
that's actually
comics are. That's
he's got like I said, he gives you 20% off. He said he whether they're buying new stuff or not. I said, there's people who buy back issues too the same day. I'm one of them. I buy back issues and new issues on Wednesdays when I go in the shop. It's the one day I go in, so I buy everything and then I leave. But he said most of his profits come from, he sells the back issue stuff, and then whatever is the new issue stuff, he orders a little. People buy. And that's like the cream of the crop on top.
By the way, shifting gears here for a second.
Yeah.
I just saw something where there was a politician on Colbert last night that said, we're not sending our best and brightest to Washington.
Oh, yeah, Fetterman. Ironic that he's the one that said that. Like, no shit, Sherlock. You're one of them.
Wow, that's just...
Because he's the Bill Belichick of Congress.
Was he wearing his signature polo?
The ratty hoodie with the gym shorts.
I just want to point out that Fetterman didn't say that. Somebody said it for him. He said it's Fetterman's twin.
At least Fetterman, Belichick can get away with wearing that stuff on the sideline because it's a sport.
Well, no, he got away with it because he led a dominating sports team for like the better part of a decade. Fetterman just hides behind an excuse.
I bet Belichick wishes he'd retired when Brady left for Tampa Bay now.
Probably.
Because, boy, that debate is over.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember learning that the Belichick, the whole thing behind his like ratty looking appearance, that was like the minimum. That was the lowest dress code that he could go and still like without getting fined by the NFL. So that's whenever I look at Fetterman, I'm like, oh yeah, that's got to be like the bottom line.
No, they wouldn't even let him in the well. But then they tried changing the dress thing for him. Mm-hmm. That backfired, and now he can't even go. He has to stay outside the well. He has to stick his head in, vote, and because he can't go in there dressed like he is.
It's like,
he has
dude,
to wear a suit and tie.
Just get an aide to help dress you. Half the politicians in Washington are too old to dress themselves. Well, they have people to help them.
That's the whole thing, though, is that it's all part of his gimmick. Let him dress like Joe, his basement Joe. They both.
He's an everyman who happened to grow up with a really wealthy family.
I see. I'm one of you. I'm a normal person. So
right.
Clothes,
Well, no, you are a bigot or an asshole. You think a guy who had a stroke should not be able to hold office or be able to just wear what he wants to wear?
Hey, listen. I could turn this into a political stream, but that's not our purpose. So I'm just gonna.
Our purpose is to donate to this channel if you want to. Ko-fi.com/.
That's not my purpose.
That
That's
is your purpose. That's
your purpose, the viewer.
You're all here, the viewers and panelists like you, to help out the channel.
And let me say real quick to MK, because I'm too lazy to type. Yes, he did get screwed. Now, whether or not he, okay, Trevor Bauer's not a good guy per se, but in this case, yeah, he was absolutely railroaded, and it's interesting that he was basically kicked out of baseball based on one accuser and two other people tacitly coming forward, whereas Deshaun Watson got the largest deal in football history with 29 accusations of sexual assault hanging over his head. So I said, and as they say, there's your white privilege, kids.
Also, shout out to the Diamondbacks getting 4 home runs in one single inning against the Dodgers.
Well, who was a pitcher short because another guy did beat his wife and got booted. But
I just like seeing the Dodgers
got boat raced. Oh yeah, that was well. The Braves just went bye. So every 100 win team is gone.
Why do the Braves get to still be the Braves, but the Redskins have to be called the Commanders?
No, okay. One, the Redskins were in a town that votes 94% Democrat.
That's fair.
And even though there's the Native Americans themselves overwhelmingly support the name Redskins, it doesn't matter. White progressives do not. There's your answer. The Braves are probably on the clock because they're overwhelmingly left down there too. But right to date, the forces that want to keep the name is more powerful. Yeah, the name changers don't have a strong enough lobby yet.
Okay.
Just like the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, the Chiefs. That's another one. Yeah.
Well, wait. Now the Swifties might get that changed if they last long enough because they're already barking.
Can I use my tinfoil hat for a second? You know how the NFL was losing viewers for years after the whole Black national anthem and the knee elite and everything?
That's not tinfoil hat. That's fact. And yes,
they got Taylor. I think that they struck a deal with Taylor Swift. Hey, date this NFL player and get all of your legions to boost up our viewers.
Well, it's an untapped market because those people don't care about anything other than Taylor Swift. But again, they're not consuming any football other than Chiefs games, and probably not even those. It's good publicity in the short term. The problem is, and then immediately Travis Kelce does a Pfizer commercial showing off where he got the booster.
Oh yeah.
So for every fan that they're picking up, they're going to lose that many real fans. They're just sick of the shit. That and the fact that the league has mandated that the Chiefs do not lose because last week in the second to last play of the game, there was a pass interference in the end zone against the Chiefs. The Chiefs player takes off his helmet. That is also a penalty.
Yes.
They picked up the flag on the pass interference and ignored the helmet coming off. And just it became fourth down, and Cousins got sacked. Chiefs won by 7. Every week you can point to multiple instances where the Chiefs are getting every call they possibly can. So it's like I said, is anything real anymore? I wonder. I really do.
Are we real?
This is an AI. This is an AI picture of Zach. I've been sleeping for the last hour.
Hey, Breen, that's what you sort of look like. Donald Sutherland at the end of Invasion when you
Body
did that.
Snatchers?
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes.
Breen, you look like you could use a lifesaver.
Oh my God, the gummies have infested lifesavers too.
Yeah. Did you see these?
Nope.
What?
Skittles are already chewy.
I don't know. That's the thing.
I have no. Why would you?
I don't know. It came in my bag. Got a whole bunch. So
Oh, you got one of those big Halloween.
It's actually the smaller one. This is only 75 pieces. I've seen 150 pieces for like $20.
All right, gentlemen, I gotta call it.
Yeah,
Ditto.
we're gonna call
It's
it.
about that time.
We went as long as the basketball game.
Gotta get lunch and clean up because I got back from the gym when I jumped on, so I smell awful.
Yeah, you got to take care of your stuff before the boss gets home.
You got to clean yourself up.
All right. Now we're at 15 for some reason. We want to leave. We thank you for showing up. Listen to us bitch about how we hate what the industry is going. Check out if you want to learn more about where the industry is going. Check out Thinking Critical. That's a really cool rant. It's a 15-minute video ranting about the destruction of comic books industry and how much.
That's the one that Breen did, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Breen and Wes are really fun to listen to if you want to listen to somebody rant.
I was
really
the picture of restraint.
Check out Joe Gicho. Does a lot of cool, I would say a lot of edited videos with that theme song in the background. Which I'm curious where you got that theme from because I was here.
Which theme?
Video. It's the only one you have been playing. Whenever you do a review, it's the only like.
Well, when I do Power Rangers, I have Power Ranger music. Or
I haven't heard that, but I've heard like your epic, like your orchestra theme in the background. Whenever you
so that one is actually I got that one right off YouTube. It's called "Saving the World."
All right, you're gonna hear that every single time. I was kidding.
What did I leave in a comment that I needed a full report when you got it and read it? Do you remember what that was? Because I'm old and I forget things.
Wait, which one?
When you did a video, you were gonna get something sent to you. Was it No Man's Land related?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was from
that was the stuff
from
that he and I did a trade on.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so check out Joe. Joe's got you're at what are you at now for subscribers?
911.
Wow. All right. Yeah. So that's exciting. If you haven't subscribed to him, go over there, click the bell to get all notifications. Usually it's 2:00 in the morning when he posts. At least Central for me.
Oh, yeah.
I try to hit midday in the U.S., but it doesn't always work out that way.
Your aim is off. Awful.
It's midnight.
Well, for me, it's like I try to schedule it for like my midnight, so just.
I would say schedule it 2 hours before you come on join us on Thursdays. That'd be like, and then
probably be the best.
And then change it to AM or whatever.
I can do that.
Yes. Or actually, no. Actually, change it to PM. You're at AM right now, aren't you? It's 10 o'clock when we start.
Yeah. Right now it's 12:34 p.m.
So I would say 6 a.m. your time.
Would probably be the best.
Or 6 p.m. maybe.
See, you start getting up around 1:30 our time in the afternoon when you get out of bed. That's usually when you start answering your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wake up about
that's my time.
5:30 in the morning. Yeah, that's when I'm usually.
But
active.
Anyway, check out Joe. Check out Breen's channel. Breen Hacks, they have some cool stuff on there too. He's at 426 or something like that. Or
I'm in the threes. I've done anything in a year and a half.
Yeah,
subscribe
to his
channel.
Encourage
him to post something.
You need to post again, man. I like to watch your stuff.
We need an update of your living room.
Yeah.
Every time it goes, like this was last week, and do a time lapse video as you clean it. That'd be awesome. As it goes, as you go from one section to another, and just see how it goes. It's gone here. It disappears. That'd be cool. You could snap your fingers, and then that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That'd be a little cool little skit you could do. Check out Geek Easy. Geek Easy's also got a channel too where he does some unboxings and some reviews.
Yep. Very off the cuff reviews.
And then check out
good
Zach
stuff
on only on Thursdays and Tuesday nights because he hates Fridays and Sundays.
Not even next Thursday.
But it is Friday.
But
yeah, I got nothing else there.
If you want to help us out, we're at 431. We're trying to get to 500, so we can at least get super chats done. Finally,
we're not 420 anymore.
We're at 431. Zach?
Hey, almost at monetization.
Well, yeah, for super chats, and that's all I really care about. I don't care about advertisements. Give me the super, and obviously advertisements will get us more money, but super chats allows little people like Little Rhaegar to bitch at us for $2.
You realize after YouTube takes their cut, that's like $1.
I know, but it's still money though.
What can you get with $1?
It adds up. once.
Okay.
You can get $1.
Hey, just remember, if 3,000 people send you $1,
That's true. That's a good point. You make a good point.
How much do you have, Joe?
You have 1,000 after the U.S. tax man comes in.
Well, that's kind of a bummer.
I mean, I have $1,000 in my wallet right now. Yen.
Tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, but you're not paying that to Uncle Sam.
And then tomorrow we do
equivalent. It's like maybe $8.
Paying it to Uncle Hiroshita.
Tomorrow night on the channel we will have a reading. Breen never got back to us. We were thinking about just
because I don't care. You pick, I'm there.
Dude, just say that. Just say it. All right. So we're gonna be reading.
I'm not obsessed with your channel. That's your job.
But you're on the channel. You're the one who complains.
Yeah, quit reminding me.
Yeah, he goes on Thinking Critical. He is above all of us.
That's right. Breen's a big star. He's the A-lister.
Okay. Here's the deal, Joe.
I tried to courtesy this guy.
Wait, zip it, Bagman. When an episode of the Comics Aficionados takes less time than one of our fucking readings, the readings are too long.
Yeah, but those being said readings go up to 200 in views, which is pretty good for his half-hour channel.
How many views does his rants on the aficionados go, though?
Well, dude, he could just sit there and be pretty, and it's the same amount of views because Wes is a dude.
Wait a second. Unless you got a Wayback Machine, I ain't sitting here looking pretty. I mean a way back machine.
Yeah, but Wes is making enough money. Wes has got the money and the editor. He can digitally DH you.
Man, I'll tell you what. Yeah. I wouldn't surprise me if his editor could do that because I mean I can't believe how slick his videos are now.
Yeah,
they're very good.
But that being
said,
he doesn't
edit his own videos.
So since Breen's okay with it,
kind of talent.
Tomorrow night on the channel, the first time ever at a Geek Up show, Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm.
I thought that was a movie.
It's also a comic, and it's a light novel.
It's a comic adaptation. It is 64 pages.
There's also a junior novel.
That's why we'll be starting at 7.
It's not like dialogue heavy, right? So it shouldn't.
No. It's not a Tom King book. It's not a Stan Lee book.
That should be fun.
It's 1995 or 94 when they released the comic book adaptation of the movie.
I mean, I could do it right now. Bruce, Alfred, Andrea, Joker, go. No.
Why aren't you reading with us tomorrow? Then we won't need any of us. Then I can take it off.
Well, so tomorrow is Saturday, which is my karate day.
That's not my problem.
Karate day.
So check out that. We're gonna be
Ross Geller.
We'll be starting at 7:15 p.m. Central, and we'll done by time. And Breen, you can actually have dinner.
Well, I
need to have lunch.
It'd be nice if one of these playoff series had lasted long enough to where I could have at least had a game to watch. But
yes, and then for Sunday, I'm thinking we're going to read Moon Knight number 29. And then so then I'm trying to think what the other one I was working on too. Oh yeah. Born Again, Part 1, 227 of Daredevil. That'll be our Sunday readings. I figured why not? It's trending, and most people need to see our version of Born Again.
Most people need to see. No, most people need to eat and breathe and sleep.
Zach, listen to what I said.
Alicia.
That's why I said people need to see it because Alicia won't.
If they let me be Matt, I would read it like Alicia. And then have somebody just different voice for Daredevil.
We're gonna let you
just throw a little roll on it. Well, I'm the Daredevil today.
Since Zach's not here,
New York City.
Since Zach's not here,
New York City.
You said the 3 worst words you could have said.
Oh, shut up. Those are 3 more words. How do you like
what were we doing? And then all of a sudden that word popped up, and I think, was it on Wes's channel? Whose channel was it?
Oh no, God, what was that?
Gratitudes, I think, wasn't it? The hotel, Arlo?
Well, you weren't on the stream.
No, I wasn't on it though. But I mean, I was in the chat though.
Okay. Oh yeah, we did that in the chat. And then we did it. Do we do it on Monday night or something like that too?
I'm sliding out.
Yeah. So, but that being said,
Zach can be the pimp. But
Yeah, sure. That would work. Bye, Joe.
Yeah. Like I said, we have fun with this, and then I said, Dr. Silvage will, it was Silver Wages channel. That's what it was. But like I said, on Sunday nights, Dr. Silvage will be joining us, making his triumphant return. He's missed the past 2 Sundays. He's still
Lucky
more
him.
useful than Zach. And all right. That being said, hope you guys had fun.
Zach is kind of like our own Human Torch.
do we flame him all the time?
Oh! That's good. That's good. You do roast me a good bit, for sure.
You roast yourself if you're on fire.
Self-roast. Like that kid that wanted to be Johnny Storm in that one issue. So he sets himself on fire.
Can we go home yet?
Yeah.
Please,
So, good night, guys.
Please let me go home.
Let my Zach
Bye.
go.